Yo, what's up? Detroit is definitely in the building via your headphones, stereo, and speakers. Of course, this is your man's the African Caesar, and this is the Sneaker Box Sunday evening show right here on Woodward Sports. Of course, I'm joined by the rest of the crew. We coming back from his hiatus. We got the Criterion of the show, Gino.
What's up, people?
Dude, like every time you like establish a streak, you just break it. Wow.
I mean, hey, look, you do what you got to do, man. Got a life outside of this, man.
I'm trying to figure out
as you have a life outside of this right now. As you're feverishly texting and receiving emails.
Why you just put me on blast?
Just is what it is.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
And the star of the show.
I know. Yeah. Where you come
Returning.
back? Where'd you come back?
I'm back full time. The show needs me. I'm here.
Well, if y'all
Slam
Dunk.
Hey, there we go.
Well, if you don't know, right there you go. The better half of
yeah.
Slam Dunk, Cruella DeVille over there.
Cruella LaFleur, but I'll take it.
Yeah, okay. Cruella LaFleur. Where did that come from?
Mix a little Gucci in there. It sounds better.
Oh, okay.
Spice up the Dalmatian, bitch.
All you need is like a dog collar.
Let me get a custom one like the shirt.
Yeah, the shirt is dope.
Go.
I gotta give it to you.
Yeah.
Can we zoom in on the shirt? Like that shirt was dope.
Oh, no, Mike.
Can we zoom in on that? No.
No.
Okay.
Zoom in on his hair.
That too. New and improved dunks.
And then of course we have the deacon of the show. We got Guru.
What's going on, good people?
But you look like you just trying to laugh right now.
I don't know, man. You know, I'm blessed to sit inviting Birmingham's White Knight, Harvey Dent. So I'm just blessed, you know what I'm saying?
I swear to God.
Hey, was that on the spot or were you waiting?
Nah, that's just everything is just, you know, it just
That's the thing about Guru, man. Iron sharp as iron. I always thought I had something to say for everything, and Guru, he astounds me. Every time something happens, he has a comment.
Every city needs a hero.
Yeah, and then he dunks up, you know, he daps up Gino, but that's his black side, so they can't say slam dunk no more. He gotta say what up though on his black side. So you know what I'm saying?
Actually, that's actually what we should do. You should say what up and I say dough.
Yeah.
What up?
Dough.
Oh my God! Don't give them more ideas. Come on, bro. And wasn't originally Harvey Dent in the original Batman movies? Wasn't that what's my man's name?
Two-Face.
No, well,
that
the
was
actor.
Oh, it was Tommy Lee Jones in the first one.
No,
That was a Val Kilmer, or that was
No, the original Michael Keaton one. It was a Billy D.
Billy D. Williams.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? The Michael Keaton one?
I don't remember him in that one. The Michael
Yeah,
Keaton one, I remember.
He was Harvey Dent, but he wasn't Two-Face.
Okay, yeah. I remember the Penguins more than so than ever.
Oh, that one was that was a little
I'm
weird.
half dunks, half Jordans.
Wow.
So when you said that Venn diagram of a sneakerhead and reseller, this is what you meant.
Yes. And I'm caught right in the middle.
Okay, I got you.
You look more resellerish to me right now.
Fuck it is what it is. Not all heroes wear capes.
Man. You know what's funny?
Hey, look, at least you owning it.
You know what's funny? Somebody had made a post and they had a pair of shoes and basically they listed off every reason why they didn't like the shoe. And my question was, why do you still have it? And maybe they're going to get rid of it later. But it made me think about it. I remember Guru said on the last week's show, I remember it was the week before that, where he said he doesn't call himself a sneakerhead, he calls himself a sneaker enthusiast. And I understand this point. And it made me think, like, what's another word for a hype beast? Right? Like, what's another name? And I thought about just sneaker hoe, right? And the way I got it is, and this is how I got it, right? This is how I came to that conclusion. The same way that you got people, mostly girls, but there's dudes that do it too. People that will date somebody just because of their money, just because they're rich. Now, they could be ugly as shit, but they date them because they got a lot of money. There's people that wear shoes that are ugly as shit, but because they think it has a high resale value or is limited, they put more stock into that shoe. The same way a person dates a person that has money. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to start calling people sneaker hoes.
Sneaker hoes. I like that.
I like it too. You ain't feeling that, Gino?
I mean, that went like, it's like you was driving this way and you just veered off like on a hard left.
I thought it was a very succinct description of, I thought it was analogous. You put value in people, so you date them, and then you put value in shoes.
But why do they have to be hoes?
Because you only got the shoe because you think it's valuable.
Vulture ones.
I mean, but why do those women have to be hoes, Caesar?
Sometimes
because you only dating the dude because he got money.
Sometimes garden tools don't always go for the money.
You can say the word.
I'm just
He
going
a
guard,
deacon. He can't say
that's
the word.
true.
You know,
Guard.
the
Sunday
Lord
church.
Jesus gonna strike him down.
No, I ain't go to church today, so I say what I want to.
Guard tool. So you know what I'm saying. So I mean,
Dunks, I got love for you, but you're giving me Johnny Bravo.
I take that as a compliment.
And they called you a king, so hey, shout out to them.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
what's up, my guy? Brooklyn Basket. What's going on, my guy?
Yeah, shout out to him. Loyal listener.
Solid dude. Solid dude.
Very solid cat.
But anyway, there's a number of things we're gonna get into.
Like, what up?
No.
So later on
Forgot
today's
for a
show,
second.
I don't know
just
if you
gonna
guys.
interrupt you. Just to let you know.
Thank you for that.
For sure.
No, later on today's show, I don't know if you guys seen the viral video of the couple. My man sold his collection twice to pay for his wife's fertility treatments. And that was, I mean, dude, like stories like that, I love hearing. You know, like because it's, you know, we hear about all this trite bullshit throughout the week, and then you have something, you know, where my man's literally is selling off his collection and his sneaker as a sneaker enthusiast. You know, the idea of giving up my collection, like it would have to be something important like that. And so for him to do it twice, which means that, you know, obviously it didn't work the first time or whatnot. And, you know, just the idea, you know, I have a daughter, so, you know, I don't know what it's like to go through that as a couple when you want children and you're unable to have them, and let alone have to go through the process of going through the different treatments. And I can't even imagine, man, but to be as selfless as my man's was, to do it twice for him and his family, man, like I love hearing stories like that. That's somebody who has their priorities together. And so we have them on the show to talk more about what they've been through and the whole process. And to be honest, the real villain in this whole story is the healthcare system. Like,
I thought you were about to say me.
Not everything is about you today, bro.
Well, technically, he is the real villain in this. He's white. He's probably, you know, the reason why health
He's
insurance
not
is
white. He's biracial.
Well, only up top.
He's biracial. He's biracial.
The reason the show's gonna get more views.
Wow.
That's a very bold statement there, guy.
We'll see the feedback on this episode.
I just want to know how was that process of doing the half?
It's the half and half podcast.
They got it from your root on up, so I just want to know how was that process.
And we want a little.
Hey, he did the Hollywood Hulk
too,
Hogan how-to video. You know how he
how they do it?
It's not even
yeah, I
though.
don't
That's
like-
the funny part.
Yeah, it zigzagged a little. I was like more blonde,
Okay.
just a little dark.
So they just took they parted your hair and she just died. Well, he or she died.
Kind of like zigzagged in tinfoil. I don't
Oh,
know
okay,
what
got
it
you with
was.
the tinfoil.
Just sitting there smoking blunts in my kitchen, getting it.
Oh, okay, got you.
Appreciate the compliments.
Man.
No, but obviously you know how it is. I'm always
man, do you.
willing to be culturally aware. So
So is that a result of y'all being high? That was the turnout, or was that the expected turnout?
This is expected.
Okay, all right. I just
No,
wanted
this took over 3 hours.
or he like. I thought like when I thought about the shoes being albums, you took it literally and became bad. Was that Bad Meets Evil? You know what I'm saying?
Well, hey, and I said I was working. I didn't have time to submit the list, and then I submitted the list and still got a hard time.
Oh yeah, I got my.
Well, that's gonna happen
Gino
regardless.
needs like. What's
I need
he's
a
a
day.
couple
I did it
days.
while- I did it while driving.
Gino
Yeah.
needs 2 years. To
Yeah,
put out
exactly.
his
You gonna get it eventually. It's gonna take a while, and then you're gonna find out you're not gonna get it.
Like I got mine done.
Gino's going to make this harder than it has
Yeah,
to
it
be.
is.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah, well,
definitely. I got shit to do.
yeah, like running Pepsi.
But he wears an album cover shirt to the show though.
All right. There's
That's one of my favorite albums right there. It's fine.
Exactly. You already in the mindset.
It really is one of my
Yeah,
five. So
yeah,
I mean,
Which one is that? That's the Ready to Die.
yeah,
Yeah, so he was already in the mindset. But, you know.
Honestly, though, like that was probably the hardest part, was trying to figure out if I wanted to use Ready to Die or Life After Death.
Nah, I use one.
I mean, for me, it would always be Ready to Die, just because that was the first one.
I was going towards that, but I was like, which
Life After
one do
Death
I
is way
actually
better.
play all the way through? I played both albums all the way through, but as far as I gave Life After Death the edge, just a slight edge.
Well, Ready to Die is more. It's almost much more of a heartfelt story in terms of like it's him in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like Life After Death is more like
commercial.
Yeah, it's very
It's more commercial.
you know what
It
I'm saying?
is,
It's
it
like
is.
commercial. It's polished. I think that's the best way to
well, yeah,
put it.
when I
It's
say
polished.
commercial, I'm not saying like it's fake or anything. I'm just saying that, you know, it's more polished. To Gino's point, it's more polished.
Life
It's way more
After Death,
polished.
I think.
Have we even explained what we're talking about? Like, will the listeners even have any idea what we're
That's
referencing?
a good point. So
I know you're the host, but
Damn.
I'm out the Gina, move out the way.
Damn.
Shit.
So, hey, you got.
Hey, wait, he just sunned you.
Hey, you got that earpiece here looking like Bang.
I'm like, you come back and down with your shirt.
Drinking juice. Go ahead,
But not.
No, he just sunned you, bro.
He ain't saying shit. But I was gonna say,
we got something big planned.
yeah, we definitely got something big planned. I know you got to defend your boyfriend, but the point is,
Slam.
we had a
No slam dunk.
we
on
had
that.
we had a
No
segment.
what up though either on that.
We had a segment Guru brought up. We're gonna do it next week because some people had to take like 3 or 4 days to think about what their favorite music is.
I was going to a kid's birthday party.
Nah, him
ain't
and
no
Kanye
excuse, bro.
pushed it back. So
Shout out to LJ. He turned 1 year old. So
don't try to use LJ as an excuse. Point is,
I was going to his birthday party.
Guru actually had a good premise. Basically, we was going to pick up top 5 albums and then sneakers that correlated with those albums. And so I thought that was actually a good premise. Most of us got it together, today. But once again, Gino being the one, what I always say, you got to be the contrarian. When they always say this, 9 out of 10 doctors, he's that one doctor. So you had to be the one person who didn't have their shit together today.
Blah blah.
hey, looking like that one doctor who's the fake doctor. The glasses.
Oh, yeah,
boy,
did I do the meme
boy
one?
had the brothel. Yeah.
I mean, the brothel is shut down right now, man.
They better when you get married.
Come on, how the brothel closed but the mall's open?
People got money too?
The brothel got to shut down right now, man. I got to sell the brothel.
Yeah, you get
What's
married.
it going
Yeah.
for?
I'll sell it to you for a discount.
We'll talk.
Yeah, all right, bet.
Okay. On that note, so we got the couple that's coming on later. Also, Adidas finally managed to sell Reebok. And I definitely want to get to the story of the young man who tragically got shot and killed out in Fairfax at the Shoe Palace. At some point, man, we got to start valuing our lives more than we value these sneakers. It's really not that deep. It really isn't. Like, it's a sad story. Somebody lost their life for what? And if you can't answer that question, then that makes it all the more tragic. So, on that note, make sure to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter at TSB_show. You can follow us on Instagram at TheSneakerBox_show. And you can follow us on Facebook by looking at the Sneaker Box Radio Show page. And if you want to leave us a voicemail, feel free to do it at 248-677-1803. Whether you want to respond to something we said on the show or you have any sneaker-related topics or questions that you want us to discuss, feel free to leave us a message at the voicemail hotline, and we'll get to it on the next show. We got a couple of voicemails I planned on getting to this week.
Is there actually a Fab 5 list this week?
You actually got a Fab 5? Oh, you actually watched the show last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
When
Good
I'm
for
not
you.
here, I want to see what bullshit y'all talk about.
I missed it.
The
Oh, so
bullshit.
you Kawhi in the suites.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. That's the best way to describe it.
And we do, though. Fab 5 sneaker releases from the previous week. Starting at number 5, we have the Nike Dunk Low Cell Multi-Camo. Okay, shoe.
They were nice.
That was
For
all right.
a nice fall shoe.
Smooth.
You know,
Mediocre at
Dick's
best.
got a lot of nice.
You don't see anybody excited about them.
Dick's got a nice amount of Nike sportswear apparel. They got that jacket that's like that beige color. That's really nice. They did their apparel pretty well there.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I honestly didn't think about Nike apparel because I remember back in high school, when the shoe came out, they would actually have dope apparel that would go with the shoes. And honestly, I can't even tell you the last time I was actually actively looked for Nike apparel when I bought a sneaker. First of all, being able to buy the sneaker is hard enough, let alone getting the apparel to go with it.
But it's also not fair because they don't really have a lot of Nike shirts your size. Most stores carry up to 2, maybe 3. So like Snipes, maybe the only people that really get them in larger sizes maybe JCPenney's or something like that. But they don't really.
But even
have,
still, I haven't really seen.
Not in your size. They make it, but they just don't make it in.
Well,
It's not even a
plus
size
the-
thing. It's just I haven't seen anything noteworthy.
And plus, the cuts of the shirts are a lot different than what they used to be. All of the shirts now are a little bit more of a slimmer cut than traditionally. So
That's how it feels.
hey, man, I feel terrible about that. No, big dude, I need a shirt to fit.
Did you do a 2X?
I can barely find a 2X when I look for them.
You can find some 2X.
Because you got to think, like you said, most stores usually only get one 2X, and it's usually bought up. So,
okay. On that note, so everybody's kind of okay on these.
Now you go to the next shoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4, we have the Adidas Form 84 High Bucks. These actually
I like it.
You starting to Yeezy this shoe. You know that?
I'm starting to who?
Yeezy this shoe.
What you mean?
Too many colors?
No. He's been given the high praise and exposure.
I mean, this is honestly, if you was to ask me,
How you think he got that Eric Manuel? He got to do his due diligence now.
nah, fuck you.
Paid
He
promo.
complaining about his sign his deal right after Beyonce. Sign his deal right after Beyonce.
Hey, look, as soon as that Jordan deal ended, he went ahead and
Right
signed with
Adidas.
Adidas.
First off, I've been giving them praise all year.
OVOCs.
Check the tape. Check the tape. I've been giving them praise all year. And honestly, everybody's focused on, or at least hyper focused on all of the higher profile sneakers like the Amam Year joints and the Union joints and yada yada yada. If you was to ask me though, I think I said this on previous shows. Like Adidas has done a pretty good job with the forums. I think we're all just kind of waiting for them to kind of bottom out. But so far so good. I think they've been doing a consistently good job. I think when I think of a shoe that's been consistently good, even though it's not on anybody's top 5 list for the year, I think it's been the forums. I think this has been the year of the forums, to be honest. Because there was like a year where the Stan Smiths were like coming out and they were hot for like a hot second. The Ultra Boosts, they were hot, for a year.
I don't think these are on that level. The silhouette, the form.
The silhouette, I think so. I just think it's not on most people's radars because it's not the soup of the day. Like when most people talk about sneaker of the year, they usually talk about the usual suspects. But people usually don't go past, the hottest Jordan or the hottest Yeezy. They'll look past that. Like it's either going to be a Jordan or the Yeezy as far as sneaker of the year. And I think that's unfortunate. With all these sneaker brands and all these sneakers that come out, that we kind of relegate the conversation to just 2 shoes or 2 brands, I think is a disservice to the culture, to be honest. But as far as this shoe, I thought it was dope. I thought it was clean. I couldn't find it in my size, but I love the forum highs. I like the forum mids. I'm not a big fan of forum lows because I'm not that big of a fan of low tops in general, but these are clean. I mean, what fault?
Yeah, it's maybe a size higher.
Forum mids are horrible.
It depends on the color.
They look terrible.
I mean, you want size 15 in the forum?
That's the Great Western Forum.
That's the forum the Lakers moved out of to Staples in.
Boy, motherfuckers. I'm telling you, this is why we can't be on network TV because I got too many 4-letter words. Like I'm just trying to get through the top 5 list and I can't even. We want to cut somebody out over that.
We could be okay.
Along the ice, am I saying that right? Deals are cool. Shout out to you. Thank you.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I got no beef with them.
Yeah, just comp all black boys.
What's that?
Forums.
Yeah,
they had the all black. I had the low top ones back in the day.
Can't do all black.
I scared to pair the low blacks.
Yeah, the low black.
I can't do that. But in terms of that particular colorway of form,
no, are all black
like
forums
that.
Equivalent to all black
No,
Air Force One mids?
not at all.
Okay, I just want to ask.
That newer generation did that because back when we were in high school, all black forces were nice. You know
that was your fall shoe.
Yeah,
that
was your fault. Like literally your fault.
Nice.
Like you. Back in the day, you either had the highs or the lows, all white joints, because they go with everything. The same with the black pair. You had you some wheat Tims for the fall, because they go with everything. There's certain shoes you would get annually every year as your like go-to whenever you couldn't think of a specific sneaker to go with an outfit. You can never go wrong with some all-white Air Force One lows.
Yeah, black
crispy.
This is new generation.
I definitely rather go with an all-white shoe than an all-black shoe.
That's why you pair with dunks.
Number
3.
No. A little slow.
Number 3, we have the Travis Scott Fragment.
So maybe you didn't do this list.
No,
he definitely did his list because if he didn't, that probably would have been number 1.
It's not number 1. I promise you it's not.
I can tell what number 1 is.
It's number 1. Yeah,
I learned your secret.
There you go.
I like this. I like this. Too bad.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily hate them. Guru says it all the time. It's usually the hype around it. Now, do I think it deserves the level of hype that it gets? No. But it's not a bad shoe. It's just not the greatest shoe.
If that shoe's on the shelf in a size 15, would you cop it?
Oh,
No.
hell yeah, you would.
No.
You wouldn't cop that.
No.
And you got number 3 on this.
No. First of all, I don't have a Jordan 1 low ever.
What about the high? If the high was just like this.
No. I could have got a Travis Scott one.
What?
Oh,
Damn it.
Flex.
I'm just saying, like,
He
no.
did one of these. Flex.
If I don't like,
You did the Hulk Hogan
if
flex.
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you one thing, brother.
right. Listen, Mean Gene. If I don't like a shoe, I don't like a shoe. Like, it's just as simple as that. Like, I'm not about to buy some shit just so I can prove something to somebody else.
No. Where you gonna get it from?
You know what's funny about that is, swear to God, you sound just like Rick James on the Dave Chappelle show when he said that he didn't mess up the couch. He said, "Why would I do that on somebody's couch?" Yeah, I remember grinding my feet on Eddie Murphy's couch.
I didn't deny.
You more than likely have something like that waiting at your doorstep right now. As you
I
talking shit
I
about
promise you I don't. I promise you I don't.
I would never wear that shoe.
I promise you I don't.
2 weeks later,
I will say, like,
You would never see me wearing a Travis Scott. Like, I just because
None of his shoes were sweet to you.
Huh?
None of his shoes were sweet to you.
I like the
probably like the sixes.
Yeah, the sixes.
I
the
can
worst
see you liking the
ones.
sixes.
The sixes. No, not the brown ones. The
green ones.
Yeah.
You didn't like the 4s, the blue 4s?
Those are cool.
So you would
I just didn't.
But you know
you would
what's
never
interesting?
wear neither one of those. If
But
you
you know what's
the fours
interesting?
and the sixes. Those are the only two that I would do. Everything else.
But
I'm
what's
straight.
interesting about that Travis Scott 4, it doesn't feel like it's a Travis Scott shoe.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who he was when those dropped.
It really doesn't.
Really?
You didn't
It's
know
the
who
first-
Travis Scott was?
When the first 4s dropped, no, I had 7 pairs and sold them for the low and still regret it.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I don't think anybody foresaw
No, because
the level of hype that came after that.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think Complex did like a poll on who's the most influential,
And he won.
He won, and to be honest, I don't know how to read that because I don't know if he's really that influential or are people just that gullible.
He's not that influential. He's the most marketable. He's the most recognized as far as attaching a product with his name. But he's
Did
not
you ever
the
have
most
his McDonald's meal?
influential.
no.
Is that the truth?
That's swear to God. I purposely didn't go to McDonald's around that time because I didn't want to even be. I didn't want to encounter that.
Yeah, you
bullshit.
didn't go, but you could have got it door dashed.
Yeah, he could have got DoorDash.
Hey, he's still
Hey, the bird, like, his
investigating.
meal was absurd. Like,
Hey,
it's
shit,
like a
what's the
meal that's-
rules about co-hosts fighting each other? Like, bet.
I was going to say, well, you and Easy fought each other. How did that turn out?
Yeah, can we set that up?
I'll bring my Dunkamaniac stand in the corner.
No,
But I don't
I
have no beef with the show. I liked it. Too bad I couldn't get it. but
And Gino's
it
special
was-
referee.
bet it up. No, I don't hate this shoe. It's just it's not for me. I don't like Jordan 1 lows, period. So I mean, I just told you I don't like low tops, so I don't really mess with the Jordan 1 lows. His shoes don't really do nothing for me. Like outside the two shoes that I mentioned, I'm not really pressed to have them. Like, no knock on anybody that got them. I'm just not that pressed to have them. They just not the level of hype. And let's be honest, it has more to do with the limited production and the resale value. Other than that, like, it's not. The show ain't doing nothing for me. I'm sorry, like, it just ain't. So, but ain't no knock on nobody. I mean, if y'all like them, I love them. So,
I like them.
of course you do. I was gonna say something, but as far as like the influential list, like I said, I don't know if that has more to do with him actually being influential or are people just that gullible.
He's not influential. Kanye's influential. Jordan's influential. Like, those people are influential as far as when it comes to sneakers, because those people have wore multiple sneakers and made you, a fan or brought awareness to the product that reeled you into it. Like to be honest, like before Kanye got with Adidas or before he got his Nike deal, Kanye will always wear dope Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember Travis Scott wearing there's like we always say it all the time, like the Wale's and the Fat Joes. Those were people who had sneakers that made us look before.
Travis
it blew
does
up.
have a good SB Dunk collection, though.
Yeah, but
You
if
do
it
see
was
him
now,
rocking
though.
those.
yeah, I was gonna say, but now,
it's
It's like
not.
you know
after
what
the
I mean?
fact.
Yeah.
And his girl kind of, when she take pictures in the closet, kind of put him out there like, okay. Because my thing is, you got to make, and I was just telling this to some of my coworkers, just like, even with the PJ Tucker, like, I feel like he's a genuine sneaker person, but it's easier to garner those collections, amount of pairs of shoes fast at that income and at that job rate, as opposed to somebody like Jumpman or whoever else who's built their collection over the years, worked double shifts, picked shifts up, bought these shoes. Like, I feel like that shoe collection may garner a little bit more blood, sweat, and tears in it.
That's
because of that. So like, I mean, yes, they. At least I will say, some of these celebrities, when they do get the money, at least they know what shoes to go after. I would give them that and aware of that. But at the same time, like, you guys tell me a story about your shoes, or you say, man, how long you been in the sneaker game? Let me pop over one of these shoes that's so separated that I had. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just to me, though.
The journey counts as much as the destination.
It's more admirable.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, the process of getting the shoe is just as good as the shoe itself to me sometimes. It's the stories behind it, right? And yeah, to your point about like a PJ Tucker, right? Like, I can respect the fact that, like, to your point, like, you know, he ain't out there just buying every hype sneaker there is. But at the same time, like, rich people buying a lot of shit ain't that impressive to me. Like, you should be able to get that shit because you're rich. Sorry. And now that you got to deal with Nike, you pretty much can go in there just, like, I mean, free and just pick what you want. So I mean, it's not as impressive, to your point, as a Jumpman Bostic or even like a
Mayor or just whoever
other
whoever
collectors,
just like who've been there,
or a Shoeseum. You know, like, that's impressive. Like, you know, this is somebody who's dedicated their lives to collecting. And
I think Shoeseum holds a record for highest sneaker ever resold. So shout out to him.
Yeah,
that definitely would tickle your fancy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, but like, you could tell he's a genuine collector. Like, dude knows the history about every single shoe, and it's like, you know, watching his videos is like a class. And so, I don't know. To me, it's that's why I never got the whole sneaker shopping thing. Just watching rich people shop for shit.
I watch it to see who, to hear their story, because some people go on there and say, man, I remember when these came out, X, Y, and Z, I tried to get these. Or like Moneybag Yo was on there, and how his mom used to work at the Nike distribution center, and how he was able to get shoes, and how his story, like, those, I go to listen to people's story because I want to hear.
Those are far in between, though.
Fair chance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I look for that. Then also I look for to see how many times people overpaying that. Like, you could have hired me, I could have saved you about $3,500 and bought you every shoe you needed.
Yeah.
Including
you vying for a job right now?
Huh?
You vying for a job right now?
No, I'm
you
just
definitely kind of threw yourself out there. Like,
no, I'm looking like, dog, if you could have, because people come to me all the time at work, or like, hey, I went on StockX. I'm like, no, hey, try this avenue first, or hey, you know, I try to
you
guide
create
people.
Sneaker Uber.
Called
Schubert. I mean, it's been a very long time since he's put an idea out and it's got stolen. So
I mean,
that's right. I was gonna say, Guru love dropping jewels.
But I'm just like, it just, to me, I watch it to see what people are. Some people would just really be like,
you know what you should do?
Well, the worst was when they had Iverson on there and he had to buy his Reeboks. Like, when they had Iverson on there.
I mean, that was smart because he bought it, and that still counts towards pair. So
no, but that just looked crazy, though. Like, ridiculous. To have him on the show, to have to buy his own shoe.
Hey, that's my shoe.
I'm going to go ahead and cop that. Yeah, like, especially cop for a resale price.
No, it was in the store. It was in the it was in the retail store. It wasn't a resale.
I don't even remember the video.
No, it was I think it was Concepts. It
wasn't Concepts. It was
Packers. One of the two.
I think it was Packers.
Yeah, it was a real retail shop. No.
But no, to Gino's point though, we should do like test runs of the show, see what Guru says, and then patent whatever he says to protect him, and then when we actually air the show,
well, that's why we got a lawyer. We got multiple lawyers.
No, we gotta get John on it. Like, it's like just have him sit here and just transcribing the show, and as soon as Guru says something,
like, he just basically tells Guru, "Shut up." Yeah, like, don't say nothing else.
Yeah.
We don't want your ideas to be stolen. Like, seriously.
Do we finish the 5 list?
No, we're about to get to it now. Number 2, we have the Sakai Special Edition Nike Blazer Low British Khaki.
No, ain't no way this is not higher than the Travis Scott.
Ain't no way this isn't even on the list.
These are dope.
What? You think these are dope? You just said you don't like low top sneakers.
These are dope though.
Let alone artificially hyped collaborations.
What did I just say?
You would buy these?
I wouldn't buy for myself, but I think they look dope though.
Oh my goodness! You from the east side, so you like
Hold up, didn't you? Didn't you try? you tried? Didn't you? Not necessarily trash, but you haven't been a fan of any of the Sakai shoes that have come out, right?
Artificially overhyped collaborations that
never
got to do.
I think it has a lot to do. And I think this has a lot to do with the colorway, which I've always said can make or break a shoe.
I'm over here like the colorways.
Dr. Pepper cherry Coke looking colorway. Dude, that looks terrible.
Did you clock out? Because evidently you did.
I think these are clean. I think these are clean. This is probably one of the better colorways I've seen of the Sakais. I'm usually
my goodness.
I'm usually not a fan.
Ain't no way.
Ain't
no way. Over them purple one joints, over the
what color?
Blue ones.
Yes. Over all of them. This is, to me,
this blazer low.
This one.
Better than the Waffle Racers. Because the Waffle Racers just
better shoe.
Yeah.
I can't even, honestly, I can't even.
I'm a fan of the blazer highs, and I don't like the lows.
Say what now?
I'm a fan of the Sakai blazer highs, and I still don't like these.
I'm just saying, I like these are dope. If I was to get a low, it's these.
C's putting up.
That's right. Call them out. Yeah. Call them out. Hey, people, get on there. Call them out.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Listen, just because the shoe is hype don't make it good either.
We need to see slander.
Listen, just because the shoe is hype doesn't make it good.
Bro, they spilled
Travis Scott's
white out
hype. That don't make it a good shoe.
They spilled white out on a Carhartt apron and you was like, these fire.
That's exactly Iverson shorts was a huge bit. Okay. Shout out to Dunks for showing up this week.
For actually showing up? Damn, so we shouting out people for doing their job now?
Right, the bare minimum.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me on this show.
But no, but that, to that point though about the hype shoe, like, dude, just because someone's hype don't make it. Vanilla Ice had hype, that don't make him a good rapper.
We go with this one.
I'm just saying.
This shoe has hype.
He had a hit though.
Huh?
You're still talking about him though. How many years later?
That's true.
So okay. So
more of a reference point.
No, to Guru's point. So if this wasn't a Sakai shoe, would it still be on the list?
Yeah. It had nothing to do with Sakai. It had nothing to do with Sakai. It had nothing to do with. I wasn't like, ooh, Sakai. I gotta put this on the list.
Has a blazer made the top 5 this year?
Yeah.
I think maybe a women's blazer.
I think a couple of blazers have made it.
No, I don't know. A couple.
You had the popcorn joints. I know they made it, and I think the
oh yeah, the popcorn did make it.
And then the I know the what's the names didn't come out last year or this year. The Giannis ones, the Coming to America joints.
The McDowell's.
Yeah.
No, that was 2 years.
Was that last year?
That was like 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Was that 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Because that's
All-Star Weekend.
That was a Greek 2.
Was that 2 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the one they played.
Because he played in the Greek 2 one.
Wow,
that was for Kobe. That was the first All-Star game honoring Kobe and Gigi when they played. Everybody.
I'm just saying it literally does not feel like 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
That's scary when 2 years can go by like that and you don't even know it. But no, I don't give a fuck about the name. Like I saw the shoe and I thought it looked dope.
And number one, maybe it's good.
Number one, we have the Air Jordan Retro 1 IOG Pollen.
All right, how many pairs of these did you get, Sage?
I didn't get none.
Really? So would you have sold your Dave Chappelle ticket to get this shoe?
Hell no. Shout out to Dave Chappelle too. That was a good show. Hell no, I wouldn't have sold it to get this shoe.
Match blunts with him probably backstage.
I wish. Funny story about that show last night, but I'll get to that later. With this shoe, I mean, I like the fact that we didn't get like some type of reimagining of the normal colors of black, white, and red on the Air Jordan 1. I don't know how many of them we've seen.
But they just gave you a dunk, about 9 months ago?
And they're giving you another one.
Yeah.
The same dunk.
They're giving you the low top version of it next.
But I'm just glad that I got another colorway. Like, it just seems like with Jordan 1s, it's usually the same colors, just reimagined in different color blocking.
You've been getting new colorways. Pine green, even though you got that about 3 different times.
I didn't get the pine green ones.
You didn't get them? Well, so there were other colorways.
I'm saying, and those are cool.
Okay, all right. I'm just making.
I'm saying, I usually shout them out when they do something like that. Like when we get other colorways.
But you can't say that, like, as a fan of Jordan brand, and like it comes with liking Jordan brand. They're gonna give you the Chicago Bulls color on every single Jordan.
No, I get that. I'm just saying with the Jordan 1, because I'm already tired of the Jordan 1, and then with the if you do the same shoe over and over and over again. Listen to my point, guy, before you start pointing at it.
It's better than the Volts that dropped a bit ago.
My point is, they dropped the Jordan 1s ad nauseum, and then they dropped the same shoe in the same colors, just color blocked differently. It adds to the tiredness of seeing the shoe. And so when they do drop a different colorway that you haven't seen before, especially one you haven't seen before ever, it's like, okay, you know what? That piqued my interest. Like, it's not that many Jordan 1s this year that I've been really pressed to get. These are probably 1 out of 4, maybe.
So the colorway is new to Jordan brand, but it was still a borrowed colorway.
No, it's definitely a borrowed colorway. Okay, yeah. Definitely a borrowed colorway. It's just the colorway we haven't seen on a Jordan 1.
But we know it's about to happen next.
But Jordan 1s I've been flooding though. Like, they flood Jordan 1. So even if they just gave us one Chicago colorway, still the repetitiveness of the releasing this shoe in multiple colorways has drawn the fatigue.
I mean, I said this last year.
The this is the remix color blocking switching is
you know that's coming next.
Adds to the fatigue, but even when you remove that, it's still like a
reverse pollen.
you know they're gonna come with a reverse pollen. They came with the reversed gray ones.
They're going to come with a Pollen 2.0 probably next. It's going to be patent leather.
The Pollens with the patent leather. It's going to come with some Allegra D for your allergies. Yeah. Like, it's going to come with all of that.
This is like disease and allergy.
It's going to come with your allergies. So Allegra D the next Pollens.
It's going to be a suede one, and then when you touch the yellow, the pollen going to rub off on your fingertips.
They ain't going to sneeze. So when StockX authenticated, if you don't sneeze, it ain't real.
Hey, did you see the thing going on
about StockX? It comes with real
StockX?
Tissue paper? Huh?
There was the limited pair of Jordans from Milan or whatever, and it was numbered 1 through 100 or whatever. And StockX sold a pair.
Oh yeah,
and the guy who actually owned that number was like, "No, I own this," and posted pictures.
No, one shoe had different numbers, right? It was like it was like 60, and then the other one was 69.
Yeah, but the guy who actually owned 69, I think, posted pictures of both authentic ones, and he's like, "I was at the event. I bought this in person. There's no way you possibly have that."
Now,
that was
in the interest of
that was what Unbreakable Kicks they had. I think who did the video or something. I saw somebody showed me at work like a screenshot of it. That was one of the issues with StockX.
Unbreakable Kicks is the Geraldo Rivera of that shit. Like, dog, like
I don't know. I just saw the clip. I didn't see the video. I'm gonna look it up, but
right, like you can't get caught doing bullshit and then try to call other people out on bullshit. You might want to take a back seat. Point is, to Guru's point about the Air Jordan 1s being redundant and all this other stuff, and I agree with that. I'm just saying, if you are going to drop a Jordan 1, give us something we haven't seen before, and they did that with this shoe, so I'm okay with it.
So how do you feel about the patent breads?
I mean, to your point, I knew that was coming too.
Yeah.
I mean, that shoe's been talked about for a couple of years. It's just not coming out.
So same Chicago colorway.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like
redone. You're not excited for it?
I mean, I got a pair of band ones, so I was like, what do I need them for?
Okay. Right. I'm just making sure you're keeping the same energy. That's all.
Like, I don't need a patent leather version of the same shoe I got. Like,
I mean that's how I would think most people
I would think it's mostly for the people. I mean, there are people that are going to collect them and stuff just because, you know, that's what they do. And I know there's going to be people that don't have or didn't get a chance to get the band ones, at least for a decent price. So they're going to go after this shoe too. So I don't begrudge them on that. I'm just... You know, but like I said, this shoe has been talked about for years, and they just not coming out. So I'm not really too surprised. I don't know why they waited so long to drop them, but yeah. Ugliest release of the week, and this has a lot to do.
The Sakai Blazer Lows.
Okay, yeah. So so he made Unbreakable Kicks made a video about it. I don't think it wasn't his shoe.
No, I knew it wasn't his shoe,
but that's crazy though. But I couldn't spend $8,500 on a shoe. I'm sorry, I got a salary cap. Even if I had it like that, I could.
If you had it like that, it would be a drop in the bucket. Though.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, if you got millions to blow, because I don't know this person. So
if you say if your net worth hypothetically
$100 million, I still wouldn't do it because I'm still thinking like
as a collector's item though.
I wear my shoes though. I can't put something in the comment and say like, see how I got this. Like I grew up in a game where we wore your shoes. Like I can't do that. And for $8,500, you know what I could do on eBay with that?
Right? No,
but you're thinking about it in terms of now though. And to his point, if you had $100 million, I guarantee you would think differently.
Like I said,
because when I got my job, I ain't gonna lie to you. The difference.
Here come a flex though.
It ain't no flex, but the difference. Like before I worked in Cross, I made decent money. You know, whatever. And, you know, I was able to put my wife through school and whatever. So I made decent money. But then once I got into Chrysler, though, and I started making that money, I'm like, yo, like... And at first, you know, you thinking the same way. Like, no, you know, because you still thinking with that same mentality as you did before you start making that money. But once you get adjusted to making a certain amount of money, like, you look at things differently. And so...
nothing worse than a taste.
If you got $100 million...
C's like... dollar menu, value meal all day.
I still wouldn't do that, bro.
I think you would, man.
I wouldn't do it, bro.
Only because
I have a salary cap. I have
I think you will wear them.
I have a salary cap for now, and then a salary cap for like when I do make it and become extremely financially successful. I still got a salary cap like just like $8,500 is just like.
If you had $100 million and like to this point, that's pocket change.
Because you might look at that as it's a collector's item. It's the same way like people when they buy cars and they buy art. Like you're buying a collector's piece.
I believe with art value appraises its worth, it's like an investment. With that shoe, yeah, it may, but if the sneaker game plummet like what we think it's going to do and just kind of fizzle out from the hype,
but it's numbered, so that's going to help it. Not no.
Good for Guru for not being an idiot with his money, and shame on you guys for just having sneaker problems.
Appreciate it's that. Not being like $8,500 if you had $100 million. Now, if you spend $8,500 a day, then yeah, that's a problem, right? But
I was about to say something negative about charity.
If you buy that shoe,
but if you buy if you buy that, let's just say you just bought that shoe as a gift to yourself, right? Because you really liked it or whatever. One, I believe that you would wear it. Two, I don't think that you would. I think once you got adjusted to your newfound life as a $100 million man, yeah, I think you wouldn't. I think you would look at it differently. I think you're looking at it now through those glasses. now.
I'm just saying, like, even when I had, like, if I had the money and I had everything I want, I just know that to me, that just personal purpose. To me, like, the thing about collecting is the value is in the eye of the beholder. Right, what I think is worth something, you may not think is worth something. So to me, I'm just saying personally, for me, I just wouldn't get it because you can find another shoe. Like, to me, I will go after Kobe PEs, which are laid less than 150 pair, and I would pay half that price, even a little bit more. So to me, I'm gauging where I can get the same,
So what you're saying is you wouldn't necessarily buy that shoe for that price.
No. I was probably the most, if I had it like that, the probably most I would spend about $2-3 on a shoe, and it had to be like Kobe EYB 6s that were given to the team because of Purple Bear floating, or like these Vinny Carter Archie 2K4s with the Vino with the numbers on the scribe, the Lakers colorway, like those like you really ain't gonna see. To me, that's personally what it is. I ain't gonna knock it. It's a dope shoe. Too bad it didn't come out like from a retail standpoint, but that's just with me though.
I mean, that's respectable.
No, I can respect your answer because I mean, basically what you're saying is that shoe ain't for you anyway. You like the shoe, but it ain't worth that to you.
The value isn't there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like, I don't know if I would, that shoe in particular. Now, does not to say that if I had the money like that, there aren't shoes out there that I would go over what we say our salary cap.
Yeah.
If I had $100 million, yeah, I would go. Like certain shoes, I probably would go over my salary cap because at that point, like.
But then, where do you wear them to?
Exactly. This show.
Shit, if I got $100 million, I'm retiring completely.
Yeah. What show? Like, but no. Ugliest release though. We got the New Balance Kawhi Emergency Red, and I'm struggling to think. Was there any
what ugliest release of the week?
Yeah.
No, you swap these with them Sacai.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
Everybody agree? You agree?
No.
Gino?
That New Balance is an ugly ass shoe though. Yeah, I think the Sacai's are worse though.
No, they're not.
3-1.
But I will say this, as far as like the Kawhis, like, and I wanted to give them a fair chance though, because I knew New Balance was trying to get into basketball, but like I can't think of a really dope colorway of the Kawhis.
The Jolly Rancher.
The Jolly Rancher was the best
Jolly
one.
Ranchers are really nice.
And then I feel like all they keep trying to do is just remix the same thing.
They were blue with the colors. They had the Jolly Rancher characters on the tongue, and
those were nice.
Jolly Ranchers.
I'm drawing a blank, but yeah.
Jolly Ranchers are nice. That shit ain't bad.
I vaguely remember them, but I haven't been a big fan of what they've been doing with the Kawhis. I don't know who.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of what Kawhi is doing.
That's true. Now, hey. Boy, touche. Anyway, before we get to our guests, who I think coming in about 15 minutes, let's get to our buy real quick. These are shoes that are coming out. They don't have a set release date, especially with COVID going on right now. Like, everything is in a state of flux. Like, even things that have a set release date, they get pushed back. Like the Strawberry Coughs. They were going to come out, then they got canceled, and allegedly they're supposed to be coming back out later this year. Who knows?
I've been hearing mixed rumors, and it sounded like they were coming back out, but shop owners seem a little bit skeptical.
Why?
I guess they're just not hearing from their Nike reps or anyone who's checked in. They've got no updates.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying they were skeptical as far as their ability to sell them.
That's no, if they're actually going to be distributed. Oh. Because I think they were manufactured.
Are they actually going to have the coffee strawberry?
I don't know. I mean, we keep thinking it's going to get better, and now we got the Delta variant. So if people are offended, and Nike,
get over that shit.
Well, Nike could be like, you know what, your strawberry has been vaccinated. It come with a vaccination card.
It's funny what Nike chooses to give a fuck about.
I know I know. Like,
I'm thinking about the grease thing.
For anybody that wants to like draw some type of connect the dots or draw some type of line to whatever you're offended by to that shoe. This is bullshit. Honestly, like
is that word to the jerseys on your chest?
Say what now?
You said some bull. I said, is that the word to the jersey on your chest?
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, I mean it's bullshit though. Like I mean it's a strawberry cloth shoe. Like if anybody saw that shoe and tried to act like, oh, they're making fun of COVID, like settle down.
And the guy who designed it does a 420 shoe every year.
That's what I'm saying. Like people find reasons to be. It's not that. That's my point. Like the people who are offended don't take the time to educate themselves
on why they're offended.
Yeah, they just want to be offended, and I don't have patience for that whatsoever. So I don't even. I'm not even going to entertain that. No, I'm not about to pay attention to somebody who gets offended just because. Like, if you saw that shoe and you want to get offended, instead of educating yourself on what the shoe is really about, when the shoe was made, and how it has nothing to do about the offense that you're getting all worked up about, then that's on you. That says more about you as a person than it does about that shoe or me.
Hey, watch him track all these manufactured strawberry coughs to Joe Herbert's house.
Now, I wonder if it will end up at the shoes they always sometimes find like these leaked rare shoes like at Ross and Burlington. I wonder if they'll stop popping up there.
I don't believe none of that shit real.
I don't believe it either, but
I think it really did happen with the Witherspoons because Nike and him ended and wanted to.
Well, I know it did happen here with the Fragment ones.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That happened.
It's light in a bottle. You can find some stuff.
That shit happened here.
Because MJ showed me a pair of LeBron red carpets at Burlington, like with the tag on and everything.
What size?
It was a men's size. I forgot what size she said, but she said
the LeBron 17s.
No, the LeBron 7 red carpets at the Burlington. So it's lighted in the bottle.
Probably a size 7.5.
And then sometimes you do come across
9, 10, something like that.
You do come across the people that don't know what they have. And
like
you just get lucky.
His Travis Scott 4s.
Yeah.
Hey, some life lessons got to be learned the hard way.
My Jordan Brand Classic ones.
The Travis Scott 4s blew up on their own. So I mean, if you just got lucky if you was sitting on the pair.
I bet you when those 4s dropped, though, not even Nike expected him to have this big of a influence, for lack of better words.
Nobody expected.
I didn't think they was gonna sell like how they did. I thought
honestly, I didn't think so either. It wasn't until the day
was just okay.
Well, I think it was his F&F versions. Like there was an all purple one, and then I think there was an olive one, and those went fucking nuts. Or like the celebrities had those, and I think that really garnered in a whole lot more attention.
I would definitely.
I remember it crashed the app. I'm like, goddamn!
I definitely want the purple ones.
The purple was the hardest one.
And and then like I was like olive dark olive.
The olive one was cool too.
What's that picture of Clay Thompson
staring down at his shoe? Yeah, he like fuck. I signed the answer. Or whoever.
How many more years am I
doing? Whoever he signed to. Who he signed to?
I think it's no, not.
You should know. We argued with you for 2 weeks about it.
Yeah, because y'all was wrong, so I forgot about it.
No bullshit.
Nightwing proved that y'all was wrong.
Nightwing was wrong too. He was drunk that day.
He seemed sober. It was early in the morning.
He was drunk.
No, 3 hour difference. Yeah, jet lag. Come on.
Yeah. He was drunk.
Exactly.
He went to a day party.
We're gonna have to start drug testing our guests. But no, buy this first shoe. We had the Nike Air Force One Pixel. Have a good game.
Get rid of those. Goodbye.
Nope.
Yeah, no. Is that a kid shoe? I feel like I always ask that with like just about every shoe.
Some shoes ain't necessarily bad. It's just they're not meant for adults.
Yeah, that look like that should be grade school.
That was
grade school.
100%.
That was made during our visit at Blue Ribbon Studio.
Did you make it?
No, I didn't make it.
I didn't cut my
shoe up. I just did color block. I didn't cut my shoe up.
I got so many things to say about that, but I'm gonna leave that alone because people getting their feelings. Dang, I want to say something so bad, but I'm not. I'm not gonna go there.
Take the pass.
No bueno.
Take the pass.
The next shoe we got the Nike Air Force One Low Matsuri. This is supposed to be paying homage to some type of Japanese festival or something.
It's all right.
Nope.
I don't hate them.
Nope.
If I was Caesar and they sent them to me, I'd wear them. Put it like that. But I wouldn't spend my money.
You and your Caesar. You got your Caesar tag. Yeah.
Wow.
If it's free, it's for
I'm coming for the number one spot.
If it's free, it's for me. That's C's slogan.
I guarantee you, I know
like them purple Converse.
Exactly.
That's the only reason you like them because it was free.
That should be Macho Man.
Free.
You know, you never gonna let that one until you actually wear them on the show one day.
No, not let it go. You gotta wear them before we stop.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
I'm really trying to think what jersey would be the jersey to go with them too. Like
you can't wear a jersey with those.
Like
Can't wear a jersey with those. That'd be like an all-star game shoe where you just don't give a shit.
You could wear the All-Star game jersey. The one where they play is in San Antonio with the purple.
The dots and stuff. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
There you go. So there you go.
There you go, Gino.
Call up Mitchell and Ness, or you probably already got one, so.
They listen.
Yeah. They listen to C's.
Freeze for me, C's. What's next?
But no, real quick, staying on this shoe. I already know who's going to wear this shoe. Francis.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. I mean,
well, for one, it's an Air Force One.
Well,
like,
yeah.
That's a given.
But no, he'll say some shit is ugly too, though.
No, he will wear that.
No, I see him wearing these, but I'm just saying, like,
no, he'd for sure wear that.
He ain't just out there just buying Air Force Ones for the sake of buying Air Force Ones.
But that Air Force One, like I said, that's an Air Force One, and that's a Francis shoe.
This is like a Francis shoe to me. Next shoe we got the Nike SB Dunk Low Mummy.
I'm gonna buy a hell lot of these and flip them.
How do I know? Like I feel like I like the premise. It's just the execution ain't there for me. I'm sorry.
Really?
It just ain't doing it for me.
Yeah.
I think the eyes are a little childish, but it is what it is.
I feel like they could have kept its true shape around the collar.
It's the shape. That's what it is. It's the shape. Mm-hmm. Especially that toe box. That toe box is it's like real boxy.
And they could have let you left a little bit off for you to peel it and unravel it to see the other layer, but it's just that it's something with that.
It's probably something up under there though.
And the sole is smaller, and the sole is smaller than the upper. You can actually see some of the overlaying of
You guys really aren't feeling the toilet paper dunks?
Bruh. And I wonder if is it going to be the ones, they got the material that cuts away?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like that?
Yeah, but I don't know if there's anything under.
What's the point then?
Does the sole glow?
It look like it.
It should.
It looks like it.
I mean, it's all right.
This next one, got the Social Status Special Edition Nike Dunk Mid Pack.
Oh, the donuts. I got mixed feelings, but I would definitely buy the lower one.
I'm sorry. They steal a lot of these shoes and taking them to chop shops. That's what they all done. The Sacai's and they did this. Like, why though?
It's like a very overly exaggerated jewel
There's no
swoosh.
reason to make a mid dunk. There's no reason.
I'd buy the lower ones or the bottom ones.
And plus, it's a mid dunk without a strap. It's a little.
And the box is cool. It looks like a donut box.
The one
you
I'm
talking
about,
Krispy Kreme and get
the
one.
I
for
don't hate them
box.
as much as I want to. I don't really hate them like that. I've seen worse. Nah, the only thing that's bothering me is that blue outsole in the
Yeah, I've
bottom.
seen worse on the top 5.
Fuck out of here.
Well, go ahead. But,
No, that blue outsole that's the only thing that's bothering me. It just doesn't.
That's what's bothering you.
On that last one, that's the only thing that's really bothering me. It
not
just seems off.
Not just the look of the shoe.
Not the 3 inches that you're missing. Pause.
Whoa.
Also, what's name? I said pause.
You said pause, but
I said
God
pause.
damn.
I said pause.
Why say
it? You be saying you don't say pause. You just go straight through. Like
Pause. Pause to that.
Buddy. Look at your Air Force Ones you talked about. Well, go ahead.
We just need a moment of silence for a second. This next shoe, we got the Passport Special Edition Nike SB Dunk High Workboot.
These are nice.
I ain't mad at these.
I don't
These are actually pretty dope.
Nope.
I like that. And you know what's cool about that is how they incorporated a swoosh, or how the guy looks like he's working with some type of tool.
These might be Travis Scott's, man. You still gonna like them?
Say what now?
These might be Travis Scott's. You still gonna like them?
The name ain't got shit to do with it. I'm looking at the shoe.
I don't know, man.
So if they did drop Travis Scott name on it, you'd still like the shoe, right?
Yeah, it's the shoe. I don't give a fuck about the name.
Okay.
All right. You didn't say that before.
I ain't never said, ooh, Travis Scott.
Upside down
I gotta
swish
have
is the
those
only
because
thing
they
that could
Travis
save
Scott.
this dunk.
Yeah, because the
what?
name
I
bothers
said
you.
an upside down swish is the only thing that could save this dunk. I
Oh
don't like
God, please no.
Not a fan.
No.
I wouldn't buy any of these that you didn't have
Travis
out here.
Scott, Texan C's. What size you wear again?
No, I'm not. The name does not mean nothing to me, man. Like it's the shoe itself. The shoe has to sell me. If the shoe ain't shit, then it's like, wow.
What's selling you on that shoe?
Actually, it's a different colorway. I like the whole work boot vibe that it gives off.
This is the same kind of colorway as them dunks that Gino didn't get. Them Dornbecker dunk lows.
Exactly. Oh man.
You didn't get
Thanks for reminding him.
Damn.
So
You talking about that was the last collection? Are they going to? Oh, I gotta call somebody.
That one hurt too, cause like literally the next day I seen somebody in the mall with them on.
Because we haven't
Started
heard
to rob him. He was on the escalator.
because they didn't have one last year. They kind of sort of did some type of thing early this year,
no, they did one last year with the ones.
I said
they
I started
off.
to.
but that
Didn't
wasn't
do
like
it.
a release.
I mean, if you had the money, if you had the $100 million, it was a release.
Well, yeah.
To drop that 8,500 like it was nothing, right?
But no,
You spend if you a billionaire, you still spend $1 million on your shoes.
Oh hell no!
I don't know what you got like that. You a
that's the
billionaire?
exact same concept.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
Because I'm not going back away from it. I probably
Proportionately,
would.
that's the same thing.
That's the same thing.
No, 8,500 and $1 million is two different
So
things.
hold
bro.
up, if
But
you
a
got
million to a billion.
Increased by $900 million.
Hold up. So
$1
you
million.
got Jerry
Proportionally,
Jones
that's-
money, and you just walking by, you see a shoe worth $1 million. You're gonna be like,
No, we really about to sit here and act like $8,500 and $1 million.
But didn't you just talk about once you get yourself adjusted to your new lifestyle?
Yes, a certain amount of money, yes, no longer matters to me. 8,500. If I got $1 billion, 8,500 has nothing.
No, we
$1
said
million,
$1 million,
I have to think about that.
Why?
But if you're a billionaire, why not? If you're a
I
billionaire,
have to think about that because you're still $1 million.
You got $999 million more.
Exactly.
It's still $1 million. Are we really about to sit here and act like 8,500 and $1 million are the same?
No. We're not talking about the value. We're talking
8,500
about
to a millionaire is the same as $1 million to a billionaire.
Thank you. That's what we're saying.
Proportionally.
That's
It's not
exactly what we're
proportional.
That's play money.
It's not proportionally.
It is.
really not proportional at all.
If anything, $1 million would be
$1 million is
less
still
to the billionaire.
$1 million still is $1 million. You still have to think about that. I would still have to think about
That's
that.
still 1%.
I would still have to think about that. That's still $1 million.
That's 1% of your net value.
That is $1 million.
So as a 100 millionaire, you wouldn't think about the 1%, but as a billionaire, you would.
It matters then.
8,500 is 8,500 1% of 100
That's
million.
up like 0.5%.
But again, it's
0.3%.
different. But you thinking about it when we talking about if you got the what we say 100 million.
Yeah, we
8,500. Yeah, that's a drop in the bank. If you got $1 billion, $1 million, what's that?
This is where we say shout out DPS.
Bruh.
That's the east side. That's what that is.
Oh, they there?
Oh my goodness, dang, that's crazy.
Man, you
Dang.
acting how I would expect Dunk Stag. You
Dang,
pay attention.
that's crazy. See,
No, I'm just saying. I had to, once we talking about seven
Duck said
figures,
you from the left side of his head.
hold on.
You got the golden black. You got the golden black. Good job, brothers. Blues brothers. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Tag team superstars.
Look at him. Hit him as accountant.
Hold on, no. First,
Do the math for me.
Do the math for me.
no, I know the math. I'm just saying, once something, it ain't about the math, dumbass. This is about the. I just said, once you get to $1 million, that's when I have to think about it. That's 7 fucking figures.
But
Hey,
what we got saying, I'm not arguing that $8,500, $1 million on a shoe, just objectively, but I'm saying to encompass with your salary, like $100 million, $8,500 isn't much to that. As a billionaire, 100. Prime example: Jeff Bezos gave dog. What's my man name's? The Jones dude that's on the news anchor. Then he get like like $20-30 million, $100 million or something like that. He gave him that and didn't blink about it. So if Jeff Bezos can give money away, who's a billionaire, and it won't hurt him,
It depends on, like, I'll give $1 million to charity because it's actually going towards something.
Me and Gino are
You
starting
asking
one.
me about $1 million on shoes? That's
Slam
something I'm
dunk
going to
fund.
think about because now you asking me to put 7 figures on a shoe, 4 figures. That ain't nothing. I'm not gonna think about that.
What
shit.
if it's
So you would spend $999,000 on a shoe, which
I said 4 figures.
5. Well, about it was 90,000 is still a lot.
all right? What if it's a
4
million?
figures. That's like what $9,999.
What if it's $1 million, no
Oh,
tax?
yeah.
It's $1 million flat, no tax.
Does he have to pay shipping
on
though?
a shoe?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what we're talking about. What $1
No
million?
shipping deal.
If it's $1 million towards, like, you know, something towards the house, I'm not gonna think about that. If it's $1 million towards
Well,
a yacht,
the
House paid-
think about that.
House paid for it.
Dornbeckers were going towards charity.
Say what now?
Them Dornbecker ones for $1 million was going towards charity.
But you just created a scenario around the shoe. So yeah, I would
But that's
think
still,
about
you still
that.
spending $1 million on
how-
shoes.
But it's going towards
House
charity.
paid for. You got everything that you could ever want. Your daughter's been through college. She good.
Mm-hmm.
You still got $1 billion.
I said I would think about it. I didn't say I wouldn't do it. I said I would think about it.
whatever.
That's something I think about. I wouldn't just go, oh, okay. Well, no.
If it's a Jordan 1 high, I don't think you're gonna think about it. I think
Nope,
you're just gonna
not.
go.
Definitely not
Exactly.
gonna think about it.
Especially if it's all red.
No.
Nope.
No. I'm not spending $1 million on old Jordan 1. Unless
Hey.
it was like, it had to be like
This
made
will
out
be
of pure
how
platinum or some shit.
this will be how the behind the story starts. Like Caesar loses everything.
Right, exactly. Like spending $1 million on shoes and shit.
Beginning of the end.
Damn Hammer.
Right. That sounds like some MC Hammer shit. He had like gold knobs for his shower and shit.
Wasn't his gate made of gold?
Yeah,
or something
like,
too?
bro,
Yeah.
calm down. Dog. Come on. We know you was broke before. You ain't gotta act like it though. We all been there. Real quick, let's get through this list. I got the LPL Special Edition Nike Dunk Low. I actually like these.
Yeah,
I fuck
actually
with
like these, and I'm guessing they glow.
It's all right.
I'm guessing they glow.
Yeah, man. Like I said, this list has been real trash. So,
well, I didn't make the list. It's just shoes coming out that ain't got no
that's
link.
the point.
You put them together on the list. So,
And you
It's literally
approve.
release
And you
dates.
approve the releases.
yeah. C's
I
approves.
approve the release.
C's approves of
Wait,
this
wait, wait.
message.
No,
I
that's
like
some
these.
bullshit.
I like these dunks.
Of course you do.
They're cool. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm saying like legit. That looks like the type of dunk
Yes,
that you
of
would
course
wear.
I
yeah.
do. Thank you.
We got the Nike Dunk Low Siempre Familia. No. No.
I don't.
I'm good.
I would.
I'm gonna come back for the next segment.
I
What-
would,
what shop
I
made
would,
these?
I would cop. I would
These
cop
look like
some-
it's just a regular Nike release. They don't look like it's a collab.
Oh, I thought it was.
I would cop these.
Oh, that value drops on dunks.
Because
Yep.
I didn't. What are these called?
That's my point.
So
What are these
dunks,
called?
so is
Huh?
dunks a
What are they
sneaker
called?
hole?
The Siempre Familia?
Familia is the store that they're collaborating with on these.
No, it didn't say it was a collab. That's the name of
I
the
could
shoe.
be wrong, but I think Familia is the retailer collabing on this colorway.
I mean,
AKA Nike ain't that creative. That's what Dunks.
So the
Okay.
hype is back. I'll buy
Yeah, I
it.
was there to say that's
That's
what
what
that
Dunks
means.
is saying.
The hype is back.
That's what Dunks is saying
That's,
about them.
hey, look, that's all he was trying to sell himself on it.
Yeah.
That's all that
Two
was.
pair minimum.
Yeah, see.
but
They're ugly
I,
as shit,
I
though.
don't know.
I would wear
These-
these. I would wear them. I would cop
The
them.
release information I got about these didn't say it was a collab. Like, this is like the shoe, this the colorway name or whatever. So, but
I very well could be wrong.
more than likely.
I'm
But
sorry.
But there's a store
It's a
called
99.5%
I know there's a
chance.
store called Familia, but every time the word Familia comes up,
I
doesn't mean
haven't
it's a
seen
collab
these
with
shoes
the store.
online, so I'm starting to believe that Nike is having like press conferences like they do at the White House, and they're inviting you. Because I haven't seen these shoes online.
It's literally online right now.
No, I haven't seen these shoes. Because you put it online. Because you wrote your story about it, but I haven't seen them prior.
I didn't write my story about it.
You did write your story about these.
No.
You just said where you just read it from.
I just got the release date information literally on the website. It's on Sneaker Bar Detroit and other websites.
But you write that. You have.
I didn't write that.
That's
You
your
still write
affiliate.
on Sneaker Bar
Wow.
Detroit?
I
You
haven't
guys-
written anything in
You
years.
guys
Exactly.
argue.
You're still affiliated.
That's what I'm trying to
You
figure
still
out.
got to log in. You're still affiliated.
You guys go back and forth and argue almost like this team's gonna split or something.
Who?
The podcast.
No,
You
speaking
guys, like,
of
take
teams,
sides.
man, you see that Malice at the Palace?
I'm about to take my
No,
own
that was
team,
a
start
good-ass
recruiting.
documentary. Say what?
About to start my own team, start recruiting members. Put out good sneaker news.
Okay.
Damn.
They're gonna have red hats, tiki torches, khaki pants.
Red hats and tiki torches come, yes.
They also
There's
go
already a group.
every January 6th. They're gonna
More
go
of
down
a
to the
clan,
Capitol
but you
too.
know, whatever.
Holiday.
There you go.
You did you watch that documentary, Gene?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it.
very
So I
good
had a kid's birthday party to go to.
Quit using them as an excuse.
Shout out to LJ.
Poor LJ.
Four
Just
and
go-
Yeah,
he's
four
like
and-
Captain America's shield against like me and
responsibilities,
gurus.
but yeah, for an hour they did good. For
What you
an
mean
hour,
responsibilities?
yeah,
You had a responsibility. Watch the documentary and make your list.
yeah,
Goddamn it.
exactly.
Man, I had a lot to do today, man.
Bullshit. But no, the documentary was great. I actually enjoyed
like
it.
Reebok's
And
making
actually,
moves.
they presented a point of view that I didn't, one, think about. Two, there was facts in there that I didn't know. And like the Jermaine O'Neal, like they played him to the left. Now
Yeah.
I'm glad that he was able to fight it and get something out of it. And shame on what's my man's name? I can't think of his name now. You had Ron Artest, you had Jermaine O'Neal, and then Steven Jackson. He probably could have fought it and got a lesser sentence too. His dumb ass just, well, fuck it. I'm not gonna say nothing because I look tough. Like, no, mother, like you get paid by games, so go in there and do your.
But
due diligence.
it's hard for him to appeal it because he ran up. Jermaine didn't run up there. Steve ran up there.
No, Jermaine O'Neal just.
No, I'm just saying that might have
Jermaine
been.
O'Neal kept
Man,
his
he-
fighting in the court, so he could play self
That
defense.
was
No, I'm
the
just saying, he might have-
illest right hand
man, if he would've
of
connected-
all time.
And I like how they had the fans on there too. Though.
No, I like that too. But my
Yes.
man's is pissing me off though. 'cause
Yeah, he was like it was like these.
Why would you treat me like that? Because your ass jumped out there like you was about to square up. Like you square up on somebody, they have every right to swing on you.
Man.
You jump on the court after everything doesn't happen. After the fact, you gonna jump on the court and then you try to act like it was a sucker punch.
And that was poor dude. And the dude who threw the beer, he a guard tool too because the dude next to him
Just say
got
hoe,
beat
bro.
up.
It's
I mean,
simple.
He can't
Hey.
do it. It's not in his
I
nature.
say it for you. He a hoe. My man's was a hoe.
So, but that
Both
was
of
Put
them
crazy.
respect on John Green's name.
Man, John Green a hoe. He
It's-
a bitch.
That was the
It's-
greatest throw of all time. None of us could make that throw.
Man, listen.
So my question to you is
His
this:
years of playing cornhole is come in handy.
is he was banned at the Palace, right?
John Green
For life,
and
right?
David Wallace, Ben Wallace's brother, because he beat the shit out
Oh
of
yeah,
Kingsley.
he pummeled dog.
So
That's what they didn't
they can go to the LCA then, right?
I think so.
Yeah, the Palace is known.
Well, the Pistons might still screen that name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, no, he got hope for that too, though.
It'll be a beater at the Caesars.
Because what I didn't respect about it is that you gonna throw the cup and then I allow my man to get beat up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog.
I caught him by surprise. He didn't expect
Yeah,
it.
like have that energy. And then after the fact,
That's like when you shoot somebody and they shoot back.
Yeah. But no, he was all proud about it until he knew he could get charged with some shit, and then all of a sudden he got mad humble and didn't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah, he was crying.
You saw his interview?
Yeah.
Where they're like, "What? Is there anything you regret?" He's like, "I wish I would have tripped Ron Artest." That was the only thing he regretted.
Yeah, okay. Say that to Ron Artest's face. I bet you
They're
money
friends
he would.
now. They're friends now. They've
Nah,
done charity work together. I promise you.
No, I mean they doing of course PR wise. Like
I bet you Ron Artest probably still
I'm
beat
just
the
saying,
shit out of him before
in
they
that
started
moment,
working together.
Yeah, I was gonna say in that moment you wouldn't have said that shit to Ron Artest. And I bet you I double dog that he wouldn't have tried to triple him either.
Nah.
Like if he could go back, if he had the option, if Dr. Strange showed up right now, like I take you back to that moment where you could trip him, I guarantee he wouldn't.
My thing is, how you gonna trip him when he's hopping chairs?
That's one.
Like he didn't come
Throw
up
a
the
chair up
alleyway
under
and
him.
then make her.
And that's back when Ron
That
Artest
was
good, Ron Artest.
Ron
too.
Artest is the NBA's Mike Tyson.
How about the dude that didn't even throw the cup, and all of a sudden Ron Artest is running at you, and you're
Yeah.
just like, "Oh,
Dude, that would have. I would have.
Now I will say this though.
been shook.
I will say this though. I wish Ron Artest had that energy for Ben Wallace. Like you ain't do shit for Ben Wallace. You laid your ass down.
But because he didn't want to get thrown out, but
you
there's
don't
a
run
difference
up in the
between a
stands,
hard foul and somebody throwing a beer on you that they drank.
Yeah, that was disrespectful.
I'm not saying it's disrespectful, but dog, come on, bro. My man put his hands on you.
But that's on the court, though.
Somebody threw a drink like that. They poured a drink at you.
Now you sound like $100 million right now.
Bro. Nah, dog. My man put his hands on me.
Arrogance is showing.
I'ma have some type of energy. My man went straight to the bench.
He put his hands on him, and again, what you just said, you paid to play the game, right?
Bruh.
So if he fights on the court, of course he's gonna get suspended.
That logic is so dumb. So if he fights in the court, he's gonna get suspended. But as soon as my man threw a cup at him, he ran right in the stand.
But that's a different
and got
level of
suspended.
respect, though. That's
exactly.
a different level of disrespect.
Like he's laying there not doing.
to the third
Bro.
row. That's pretty disrespectful.
Come on, bro.
Man.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on,
Like
dog.
he's laying
Come
on the
on, dog.
scorer's
You
table,
about that
not
life, you about
bothering
that
anybody.
life. Don't sit up there and try to fucking split hairs. Well, that one guy disrespected me, but he didn't.
Come on, man.
When he pushed me, that was respect.
So if that's the case in every NBA game, there should always be a fight.
I'm just saying, if you're
Yeah,
gonna be the dude.
according to you, that.
No, I'm saying if you're gonna be that dude that's gonna fight this guy, then fight that guy. I'm just saying be consistent in your anger.
But bro, he tried. He
Don't be
laid
angry.
down
Dog, you look like a
That's
punk.
not how anger works.
You look like a punk when you're ready to fight this guy who's way smaller than you. Then you're not gonna fight this guy who's your same size.
He didn't know what the guy looked like when he threw the beers. Ain't like he was like, okay, I'm about to run because
Yeah,
he's.
No,
imagine-
he made a straight beeline to my man.
Imagine
he
you
picked the
throw-
smallest guy in the crowd.
Because that's
Imagine
adrenaline.
you throw a drink at me. I think I'm about to fight Gino, and then I find out it's you.
Say what now?
That'd be like if you threw a drink at me,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's Gino, I go to whoop his ass, and then I find out it's you.
First and foremost,
And then you don't want to fight me all of a
ass.
sudden.
Slam.
yeah, you gonna
That ain't
get
bitch made?
you gonna get slammed. That's what's gonna happen.
That ain't
I'm
bitch
saying
made.
that's the analogy. If
That
anyone
ain't bitch
doesn't
made. So
understand.
you talk shit to me, and I'm like, well, Gino talk shit. You ready to fight Gino? I talk shit. All of a sudden, you want to lay down.
Maybe we could
peaceful.
reach mutual ground, see and
Yeah, but
understand.
what I'm saying is this: it's okay. So say this is perfect. This is probably the best analogy for it.
Where'd Guru go?
You're at work, right?
Yep.
Now you know if you get into it with someone at work, it's probably a zero tolerance policy, things like that. You're gonna get terminated. So someone's antagonizing you the whole time. You keeping the peace because you're like, look, I don't want to lose my job. Then somebody that doesn't even work there does something to you while you're on the clock. Wouldn't it make more sense to go after the person that did something to you that doesn't even
I'm
work
not have
there?
that same energy for both. If I'm not, first of all, if I can walk away from a coworker who I'm forced to be with in a certain space for however long, if I can walk away from that person, I can definitely walk away from a customer, whoever you're talking about.
But Jermaine O'Neal said that the problem was that they were getting chippy, but they're all actually friends outside the court, and that the fans didn't know that. So when they were going back and forth, they were reacting off the Ben Wallace's energy. So that is why if we go each other and we get chippy in the game, I'm not going to fight you because we got chippy.
I'm not even saying fight, but your ass laid right down. It wasn't even like y'all
because he had to. Because remember the year before he cost them being
yeah, because he threw an elbow. But I'm
Yeah,
saying you
so-
could at least you talking shit, getting in his face or whatever, because you all know that they're not gonna let you fight. They're gonna split y'all up. There's a difference between having that energy where, okay, they got y'all split up, but you still barking, you still, letting them know that you ain't gonna, you talking your shit back, you going back and forth, whatever, y'all pushing and shoving, all that good shit. You laid down, my guy. You didn't even have words for my man.
They did. They separated him. Then he laid down.
Well, but wait a minute. What was the score of the game when all that happened?
About 15-20.
That's what I'm saying. So what would have been the point?
So what's the point of even doing a hard foul then?
But what would have been the point for him to get all up in Bill Wallace's face?
We can go down the rabbit hole with that one. Why would you go? First of all, why would you give him a hard foul? The game is clearly over. Why are you giving Ben Wallace a hard foul?
Because one, Ben Wallace is not a great free throw shooter.
You up by 15. Why does it matter?
But two, that's how Indiana plays from the beginning to the end.
Especially Ron Artest.
You just watched the same documentary as me. That's not how Indiana played. Jamal Tinsley said, "Go get your foul." That's what spurred that shit on. And why Jamal Tinsley?
Even before Jamal Tinsley, the year before, they were playing chippy. Ron Artest plays chippy. Whether they losing or they up 20, he's going to play the same way.
His ass ain't played chippy that whole game until that moment.
I got to watch this documentary.
Bro, I can't. We hard foul in basketball. We don't have some words getting each other. You throw a drink on me.
Right. Only one person had words. You did a punk ass foul, sat down like a punk ass, and then when somebody threw something at you, and all of a sudden you angry, you want to get in somebody's face.
But that's
you ever had a drink thrown at you before?
Yeah, I would be mad at that, and the nigga that and the motherfucker that put their hands on me. I'm sorry, I'm not done now. Excuse me.
The joys of live TV.
I'm just saying though, like you put your hands on me, or you throw a cup, you catching these hands. I'm not gonna pick and choose. I'm gonna go like, okay.
That's not like a club fight. He putting your hands on you. This is a basketball.
Anyway, we got callers, man. We got a feel good story to get to. You're about to make me fight you.
I wish you would.
Oh, bet.
Let's go.
All right.
I told you it sounds like this is going to be a divided team.
Throw a cup at me.
Man, because you got...
Let me get this coffee mug. Need something ceramic.
Man, y'all funny. Anyway, I don't know, like I mentioned earlier in the show, there was this feel-good story about the couple, or at least my man's who, he sold his collection, I think twice, to pay for his wife's fertility treatments. And I was just like, yo, like, we got to get them on the show, man. Like, it's not often that you hear stories about that in sneakers. Usually it's some nonsense. But definitely wanted to get them on. And I tracked them down. I was able to reach out to them and get them on the show. And I just wanted them to be able to tell their story in the hopes that people will watch this and reach out to them and either assist in her treatments, wanting to donate or provide resources. As well as, hooking my mans up. I mean, as a sneakerhead, I think we can all relate on, going through the process of collecting the shoes. And no matter how noble the cause, it's still some pain there when you have to give up your collection. That's something that's a part of you and whatnot. So, anyway, we have EJ and Lauren on the show.
Hello, how are you all?
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Thanks for having me.
No problem. I don't know how long y'all was sitting there, but it's been pretty contested on the show.
Yeah. So.
We're not always like this. We're nicer. But no. So I just mentioned we saw your video go viral. I mean, everybody shared it. Nice Kicks and Complex, and everybody made the rounds or whatnot. And I saw the response it got. And it looks like you had two profiles. You had your own personal profile, and then you obviously had a profile that I guess chronicled your journey through this whole process, this fertility treatment process?
Yes.
So, I mean, kind of give us some background as far as like what you've been going through.
Well, in 2016, we had our first pregnancy, and then the day before Christmas Eve, we go in for an ultrasound, and then we hear those words, we'll never forget, there's no heartbeat. And during this time, you've heard of miscarriage, but you don't think it's that common. And then a couple months later, we tried again, got pregnant, and that's when I started really opening up. When I go in for blood work, I'm like, I'm here because I've had a miscarriage before. And then a woman would be like, oh, I had one too. Or somebody else would be like, oh, my wife had two of them. So then you see that's more common. And then after the second one, we tried the third and the fourth, and that's when they realized I had a septum. So nobody around to a lung. So we traveled to Cleveland Clinic, and they removed it. So we're like, okay, this is it. The fifth one's going to work. And this is actually the longest we carried this one. And then unfortunately, we went in again for our ultrasound, no heartbeat. So then we started getting really discouraged. And in between these, I've had other numerous DNCs, other surgeries. And then 7th one rolled around, or the 6th one miscarried, 7th one miscarried. And then we were actually going to see a reproductive immunologist in Chicago, then COVID hit. So it put it on hold, but we were able to do it through telemed. It was fantastic because we don't live in Chicago. And then they found out I had natural killer cells elevated in cytokines. So what that is my body thinks that the baby is a foreign substance and attacks the baby. So then this last pregnancy, we're like, okay, this treatment's going to work. Unfortunately, it didn't. And before this last miscarriage, we couldn't get pregnant. It took us like 16 months, and usually we didn't have that issue. So one day we were at the mall, EJ's tracking in his shoes, and I'm just thinking he's selling them. It's a good time. When we walk out, he's like, hey, I'm using this money for IVF. And I was like, what? You sold your shoes? We waited in line for those shoes for IVF. It really took me by surprise. But like throughout the journey, he would sell a couple here or there. Like if I was having surgery, he'd sell some. When the medical bills were coming in, he'd sell some more again. So he's a couple throughout it. This was like a big haul for him. And then we went back recently, and he did it again. And it really caught me again from surprise. I didn't expect it at all.
Man, like, I mean, before we even get to the sneaker part, like the emotional toll, because I think a lot of times we take for granted, some of us who have kids, we take for granted the situation we're in where we're able to have kids, and we don't think about people who are in your situation who have to go through this entire process just to have one. What's that emotional toll like, especially when you go through that process over and over again, when you just constantly, it feels like an uphill battle?
I just think that it's just a lot of stress. You just, you see your friends having kids, now, and we've been trying for so long. It's just I think it puts a lot of stress on both of us. I try, she's the one going through all the surgeries and, taking all the shots and, the doctor's visits and everything. I just try to, play my part as much as I can and just help out on the side as much as I can. I'm not a doctor, so it's not much, I can do besides, try to make things a little bit easier for her. You know what I mean? So, I think it put stress on both of us, for the most part.
It's just been hard. It's been hard. Actually, my sister and I shared a due date, my 5th one, and that was really tough because I was actually able to go with her when she had the C-section, and I was the first person to hold my nephew, which is amazing. And it's also tough knowing that we should be down the hallway also giving birth. So that one was really, really tough.
Man.
And then it's like all our pregnancies, like all kind of lined up with like somebody that was really close to us. Like my best friend, our first pregnancy, we found out a day apart. So it's kind of been like throughout our journey, like when we were due or we were due for a baby shower, it was somebody else's that we were going to.
You're talking about like, 4 years almost trying to, 5 years now, trying to get this thing, the ball rolling. It's hard when you're not getting results, and but that's kind of where I think it is.
Right.
Well, I wanted to ask a question. Do both of you all kind of see yourselves as kind of like inspirations to people? I mean, for one, EJ, for you to sell, like just start selling your shoes, does it kind of like put in perspective that, collecting sneakers is kind of like just secondary? Like family is, what's more important?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's why I started doing it. I mean, as much as a, sneakerhead that I am, I thought the bigger purpose, the greater purpose was for me to, have a child of my own. And that's I've always wanted that. And, if me selling shoes will, help that process, then, I'm gonna try to do as much as I can. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, I often complain about, the hype and the resale of shoes, but if there was ever a good reason for all that stuff to be happening, is the fact that, you were able to sell your collection and make, whatever money you were able to make to contribute to your wife's treatment. Like, I'm just so amazed that, the what's the word? I'm trying to think. I'm literally losing my thought, but the fact that you guys are sticking at it, and to be honest, like I said, I've seen a lot of people get rid of their collections for different reasons, and some of them noble, and some of them just, they were looking for attention. But to see you guys, to have that priority, and as a man to be like, you know what, my wife means more, my family means more, my children mean more, and if I'm able to, you know, as a sneakerhead, I can relate, you know, how much sneakers are a part of, you know, your life or whatever. It's a collecting thing, and you know, you're a sneakerhead and whatnot. But to basically put yourself on the back burner, and as a man, you know, do that for your family, man. Like, I can't do nothing but applaud you, man. Like, that's why when I saw your story, I just was like, I was touched, because I'm like, man, like, you know, that's tough. You know, you spend years, you know, collecting something, and then to just give it away, and it didn't. And honestly, you know, from hearing your wife talk and even watching the video, it seemed like it was effortless. Like, you didn't have to think twice about it.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, I say, you know, when you look at how much all that stuff costs, you know what I mean? We both work and, you know, you're gonna need something on the side. You're gonna need something to do on the side to pay for them, you know, those medical bills and medicine and all that. I was like, you know, well, let me do this to at least help out some. You know, I mean, I couldn't, you know, obviously couldn't pay for, you know, all of it, but at least I can, you know, ease the pain a little bit, you know, help out as much as I can.
Man, that's love right there. I'm gonna tell you, like, that's real love if I've ever seen it.
So that is Guru. Once again, I apologize you for what you're doing, what your situation is. One thing I like about what this happened is, as far as on the optic side, is it shows that sneakerheads, we have priorities. We have these images. We just buy sneakers. We spend all this money on shoes and things of that nature. Like, people don't see this side of us. People see when we buy the shoes. We don't see when we had to sell them because we had to take care of a bill, or there's no different things, or tuition, or things we have to take care of on the household that were unexpected. So, like, I'm happy that this showed the side of, hey, we are people. Yes, we like this, and this is our hobby. We also still know how to prioritize. And also, too, as guys, as we have girlfriends and wives and stuff, they don't shun us as much when we buy sneakers, because they know if the time comes we need to sell it, it still has some of its value, and we can trade it off just like you would do a stock or anything else.
Right.
I did say earlier, though, there was a villain to this story. It's the healthcare system, and the fact that you guys got to go through what you got to go through, especially the expenses and the costs of you know, going through these treatments. Like, man, it's just, I don't want to ask you anything specific as far as costs, but I'm pretty sure that's been just as hard as the failed pregnancies, as far as, you know, this journey that you've been going through.
Right.
Yes. And a lot of people don't understand, like, and I didn't realize it until I was looking into IVF. Like, if you get 10 eggs, it's not included in your transfer if one fails. So if one fails, you're paying an extra couple $1,000s each time for a transfer, plus medicine. So, I mean, it could very easily add up. And if you run out of eggs, you have to do a complete new IVF session and cycle all over again. There's this one lady I know, she's had a successful IVF session, her second one, but she's still paying off her loan on the first one. And that's tough, because it's not a guarantee. People think IVF is a guarantee. It's not a guarantee that you'll bring home a baby.
That's crazy.
And that's, you know, the big risk of it all.
Now, I think you were saying, when we talked earlier before the show, you were saying that the healthcare system, or health insurance, they look at this as an elective. So this isn't looked at upon as a unnecessary treatment that you might need. They look at this the same way as you getting a nose job.
Yep, it's considered elective, even though it's reproductive and I have a diagnosis. They're looking at it as an elective. They're saying it's not a life-saving measure, that pretty much we can go with the rest of our life without having a kid.
Wow, man. Like,
that's crazy.
I know. I'm like, this is very rarely am I speechless. Like, just hearing this stuff is kind of, it's maddening, because it's like, how do you look at your situation and say, oh, you know, that's so not on the same level as a nose job or a butt lift or all these other frivolous surgeries that people have for basically selfish reasons. Like, this is a couple trying to have a kid. They're trying to extend their legacy. They're trying to extend their family.
Yeah, it's like it's a life altering decision that you all are trying to make, and it's like the healthcare system looks at it as if it's a cosmetic decision.
Yeah,
you know, that's unfortunate. It's not. That's not fair.
Man.
Like, at all.
Yeah.
And like, one of the medicines, they cover it, like my progesterone, they cover it as long as we're trying on our own. But once they use it for IVF, they no longer cover it, even though it's the same exact medicine.
Oh, why the difference?
because one's natural and one's considered the artificial technique.
Man, I hate this country sometimes. I really do. Oh man,
I'm really getting frustrated. Like just thinking about it, because it's not fair. It's not. It right.
Really isn't.
Like
man.
Seriously,
it really isn't. It's just it's like I said, the fact that you're in a position to where you had to sell off your collection because the healthcare system needs a overhaul, a massive overhaul. As far and it's a difference as far as how they look at different electives, as they like to call it. I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It's a situation we was arguing about earlier. If we had money, what would we do? What would we buy and stuff? And this would obviously be a situation where $1 million wouldn't be a thought. But it was my hope to bring you guys on this show because we wanted to bring more attention and more awareness to your story, in the hopes that people will see this and either donate money or resources towards your cause, trying to have a child, as well as showing some love to EJ, because as a man, I take pride in the fact that I take care of my family. What was that?
Yeah.
I said he deserves all the recognition.
Man, you both do. You both do.
He's an amazing person.
No, you both do. Definitely for me, as someone that's about to get married next year, this story right here, it takes the cake for inspiration. You know, when you say the vows, to stick with each other and do everything that you can to support, to support your husband and support your wife, and see, stories like this, I get happy hearing stuff like this.
That's what I'm saying.
As frustrated as I am with the healthcare system about this story, I love seeing the love that you all have for each other and with the journey that you all are going through with this together.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's it had me in my feels. I ain't gonna lie. I was actually touched, and it's my hope, like I said, that people will watch this and they choose to donate resources towards your cause, or even try to hook EJ up, in a way to, we might not be able to, get your whole collection back, but contribute something. But man, I honestly, it's one of those things where I feel so powerless. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had more power to do more. But definitely, if anybody's watching this, feel free to reach out. Can people reach out to you guys directly on social media? I don't want to send them to you if you don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Definitely reach out to both EJ and Lauren. You can reach EJ at EJW_03 on Instagram, and you can reach out to Lauren at Miscarriage Journey on Instagram. And if you follow Miscarriage Journey, you pretty much chronicled the entire process. And I was looking at some of his stuff, and I'm just like, man, 4 years. I would have given up, but you guys are still at it, and that's a testament to who you guys are as people. And I wish nothing but luck to you guys. I'm gonna be reaching out to you guys after the show because I definitely personally want to contribute something towards your process or whatnot. And so we'll definitely be in touch, and I'm gonna definitely reach out to some people I know to try to help as well. And anybody watching or listening, please help this couple. As a community, if we're gonna get together to do something, let's do something like this.
Do something nice.
Yeah. We make time for the sneaker releases. Let's make time for people like this who are, worthy of our time and attention. So I appreciate you guys making time for us on the show.
Thank you. Really do
appreciate it.
No,
thank you.
And the sneaker community has been amazing. So thank them as well.
Thank you too. Yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely. So once again, that was EJ and Lauren. You can follow them on Instagram one more time. You got EJ at EJW_03 and Lauren at Miscarriage Journey. Beautiful couple, man. Heart. You can't get any more heart feeling than that, man. I can't wait for the movie to come out on Lifetime sometime soon. But yeah, man. I just, man,
it's hard to do a show now after that.
Real talk, it should have been the end. I know, that everything else just seems inconsequential to that. But I did like the fact that a lot of people, it did go viral within the sticker community, and everybody shared and posted the video. And so I'm hoping that we do more than just share the video. And likes is one thing, but let's contribute. Let's do something worthwhile in the sticker community. To Guru's point, people always talking about how we just buy shoes and we don't do anything other than just buying shoes and creating chaos. here's an opportunity to do something worthwhile. We've had plenty of times on the show where we have a man who lost his foot. You know, the sneaker community came together for that and looked out for him. We have other instances, you know, people have donated to Kicks for Kids in the past because of our show. And so, you know, we're hoping and we're banking on y'all one more time to do some good for this couple, man. So that's a real one right there, man. Like, seriously. Seriously, like, man, like, to put yourself aside to, you know, to Gruber's point, especially as a black man, you know, we get stigmatized a lot. And here this man is putting himself to the side for the betterment of his wife and his family.
Here's my thing, not for their situation, just in general. It's like when as men we do something, it's just like what y'all supposed to do. But when like an opposite sex does it, it's honorable. Oh, they doing it when they carrying their weight. It's just like we make sacrifices too. We have feelings too. Everything is not easy because we're the man and we have things to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, we give that love and respect to the single moms and, you know, grandmothers holding it down and holding families together. Yeah. We would like it too on the other end because there's a lot of single fathers holding it down. There's a lot of men carrying multiple households, you know, doing what they're supposed to. So it's just like, you know, we just want that same love and appreciation back because we go through a lot, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. To do what we do, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, but there's a couple that, to go through as many treatments as many failed pregnancies,
like
think that you're pregnant.
4 years worth.
4 years worth, where multiple times.
That's a long.
You know, you think you're pregnant, and like she said, to the point where, you know, her pregnancy lines up with a friend or a family member, and they're thinking they're going to have a kid at the same time, and then that person has a kid and you don't.
You know, it also makes you, and also does this as well. It almost kind of puts in perspective people out here getting pregnant, like the Brittany Renner situation with PJ Washington. You out here having a baby to trap somebody. They out here trying to have a baby to extend and complete their family. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I know that makes me angry now.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
This is like it also say people's intentions with that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what
it's sad. Like that happens in those situations.
But that's why I say I think sometimes we take a lot of things for granted. Like, you know, I have a daughter, and you know, so like to think like, what if I wasn't able to have her? You know, to go 4 years of trying to have her and not being able to. I definitely understand. Man, the emotional toll that has to take, especially when it's one thing to where you can't get pregnant, but to have multiple pregnancies, to have them not in the way that you wanted them to, that has to be.
What was beautiful about their story though too is I've heard of stories where when that situation comes up, they get divorced.
Yeah, you know, the pain of
exactly. I mean, they're together, like sticking it out. Like, to me, that's beautiful. Like,
there's a lot of love there. There's a lot. I mean, you could just tell just how you know, like how close they were, you know, in the camera. Like, you can tell there's a lot of love there, and he has her back, and it seems like she has his, and that's how relationship.
How marriage is supposed to work.
100% to you and 100% to me. Selflessness. And
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Like, for real, like, can we just end the show and then like we just walk out the studio?
That's what fine by me. What you say? That's what you what?
That's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, even though me,
that's what I'm looking for.
No. I mean, even though me and my fiance we've been together for, I always tell her 10 years, but I mean it's really been 9. It'll be 10 years next year. But you know, I feel like we got each other's back, but to me, it's always different when you take the vows, you know, you put the rings on and things like that. Yeah, exactly. So, and it's not saying like nothing about our relationship has been fake, you know, before what's going to happen next year. But it's just, you know, when you see people that are married to go through something like that and stick it out with one another, I mean, that's just, it gives hope that that's what you want and that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, when a man gives a woman his last name and then claims her his taxes, man, that's real.
Well, there are tax breaks.
Well, you know, I'm just saying, bro.
Right, because she about to go on my health insurance too.
I'm saying, bro.
That's more coming out my check next year, man.
I'm just saying. Shout out to the men that's holding it down, like for real. Shout out to EJ, man. That's a real man. That's a real one right there. I ain't got nothing but respect for my guy.
Well, and secondly, shout out to his wife Lauren though, because what she even said, he deserves all of the praises that he's getting right now.
Right.
Like she just.
Exactly.
She's also, you know, as selfless as he is, and like I said again, that's what's beautiful.
That's what makes their relationship great. From, you know, is the selflessness that we've seen, where he's giving her nothing but her due, she's giving him nothing but his due. I mean, she was the one that shouted him out. Like, he didn't post it, she posted it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, like, because she recognizes, yo, this man is sacrificing for his family. How can you not respect that? Mm-hmm. And she's going through what she's going through to have a child. How can you not respect that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, dude, we could talk about this story all day, every day, because it's just such a good story. I just hope it has a good ending. Like, and I'm hoping that the sneaker community comes together for this. But we got some other news. Some of it good, some of it not so great. I'm gonna start. You know, we're gonna because I don't want to come out the gate right after that with something bad or negative. So we'll start off with Gentry Humphrey. He is retiring. Yep. Jordan Brand VP Gentry Humphrey renounces. I can't talk.
He renounced his position.
He renounced.
Yeah.
No. Jordan Brand.
I renounced my throne.
I don't.
he did it. He did it once already.
Oh man. I know he's gonna come back to Nike Golf or something.
I was going to say. So what? It was Jordan Brand and it was Nike Sportswear.
No, he came back to Nike Golf. Then it was sportswear. Then it was back to.
I remember one of them years they was pissed when he went over to what was the phone positive side or something.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It, like,
He's had a lot of hit and misses.
I feel like he had a lot more misses.
But yeah.
But still, that's kind of when phones started going down.
Leave Gentry.
I'm just
Gentry alone.
Putting it out there. Hey,
But
look,
Can we get the Britney Spears guy?
That's when
Leave
phones
Gentry
started
alone.
Phones started taking the nose dive a little bit. So.
Nah, Jesus.
I would still give it due respect as a black man in that company.
Oh boy,
sustaining his longevity and succeeding the way he did. That's much love and respect. Yeah, we joke. We felt a little hurt by the phone pauses and whatever.
A little,
but still, we are still grateful for what you did contribute, and you still kind of let you know that hey, black execs can succeed at Nike and other Fortune 500 companies. So
yeah. Jordan Brand VP Gentry Humphrey announces his retirement. An article written by Ross Dwyer for Hypebeast. After nearly 3 decades with Nike, Jordan Brand VP of footwear Gentry Humphrey has announced his retirement. Gentry started his career with Nike all the way back in 1994. He's worked on a plethora of projects, such as reinvigorating the Air Jordan line after MJ's first retirement, to pushing Jordan Brand to begin his retro initiative in the late 90s. After his years with Jordan Brand, Gentry worked with Nike Sportswear on bringing back other models like the Penny Hardaway Signature line, which is one of the greatest decisions ever, honestly. I'm not even being sarcastic when I say that. Like, seriously, I love the Penny line, so thank you. And then later, the Charles Barkley Signature line in the mid-2010s. In August of 2015, it was rumored that Gentry was leaving back then, which he did, but then he returned that September, accepting a position with Nike Golf. He stayed there until he rejoined Jordan Brand in 2018. Gentry will be stepping down on September 30th of this year and is being replaced by Chris Wright on October 1st. Shout out to Chris. We got to talk more. We got to have a discussion. Anyway, Chris is currently the VP of Global Men's Footwear and Sports Lifestyle Product. Chris has been with Nike since 2011 and has had a hand in the Off-White The 10 collection. Prior to that, Chris was with Reebok, where he worked with artists like Jay-Z and G-Unit through the RBK music sublabel, the Reebok music sublabel. Yeah. Shout out to Chris. Good guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna beef with him. He gave me my S. Carter's.
Now I got beef with him. We gotta talk more Motown later, but
that sounds like personal beef.
But enjoy retirement.
No, Gentry's retiring. Chris is taking the spot. I'm talking to Chris.
Oh, word.
Shout out to Chris, but we gotta maybe. Matter of fact, I'm gonna fly you out here. We're gonna come to Detroit. We're gonna go to the Motown Museum.
I knew he had the resources.
I'm just saying. No, Chris is a good dude.
You gonna take him out to the port?
Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know.
You gonna take him out to the port?
No, I ain't gonna take him out to the port. Take him to the Motown Museum.
Yeah.
And then take him to the port.
They're gonna be cargo canisters.
Wow. Adidas sells Reebok for $2.5 billion. An article read by Emma Thomason for Reuters. Adidas is selling Reebok to Authentic Brands Group for up to $2.5 billion as they try to concentrate on the core brand. Adidas bought Reebok for $3.8 billion in 2006 to help them compete with arch rival Nike, but Reebok's sluggish performance prompted repeated calls from investors to sell the brand. See, and listen, I know Reebok made a lot of bad decisions, but I'm not going to let y'all slander their good name. Y'all had a lot to do with that sluggishness. Like, a lot to do with that sluggishness. Let's not all put it on Reebok, Adidas. You stole. Basically, y'all did what Daimler did to Chrysler. Y'all came in there and took everything good and for yourself, and then left them with crumbs and expected some type of magic. Granted, they didn't make some of the best decisions throughout that time, but you ain't help.
Hopefully no more Jurassic Park shoes.
Oh my God, please no.
Please.
No, it looks
no
like
more Reebok Richard Simmons shoes.
Honestly, it looked like it's going to be a lot more Shaq stuff, because who's that? Shaq has a hand. Shaq has his brand. His branding is owned by Authentic Brands Group. So,
yeah. So we'll see.
I smell cannibalization.
Oh, most definitely. 2016, Kasper Rostred took over as Adidas CEO. He launched a turnaround plan, which did help Reebok return to profitability, but the performance continued to lag that of the core Adidas brand. Reebok's recent collaborations with celebrities like Cardi B and a renewed focus on women's apparel have put them in a better place. Adidas just recently reported that Reebok's first half sales jumped to 823 million euros, up from 600 million euros a year ago. Reebok made a net gain of 68 million euros, compared to a net loss of 69 million euros in the first half of 2020. Adidas says that the sales of Reebok had no impact on their financial outlook for the current year or for the targets set out in their 5-year strategy that they announced this past March. Adidas said that the majority of the $2.5 billion will be paid in cash at the closing of the transaction, which is expected to be in the first quarter of 2022, with the remaining money comprised of a deferred and contingent consideration, whatever that means. Adidas also said that they would share the majority of the cash proceeds with their shareholders. Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's all about the shareholders.
I'm going to show up to a meeting with money in briefcases.
Basically. It's going to be like the Money in the Bank's briefcases on the WWE.
Look, all I know is Adidas should have let Under Armour do their reporting out for their finances. It would have sounded a lot better.
No,
they probably would have got caught, but
right,
you know.
I was going to say. Well, no, they in Germany, though, so they ain't worried.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's all euros.
Try to investigate us. We just won't sell there anymore. Reebok will keep his headquarters in Boston and continue operations in North and Latin America, Asia Pacific, Europe, and Russia.
Now would be the time for us to reach out for a Reebok deal.
Almost definitely. Shout out to Reebok. Actually, I'm a fan of Reebok. Like, honestly, we shit on the bad decisions, but at the same time, we have defended them. Especially when it comes to stories like this, where it just seems like, oh, Reebok they just slug your sales, as if you ain't chopped their legs from underneath them.
I just hope they fix the pumps.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. But you know what? Honestly, listen. As much as I was upset about that, at the same time, if you're Reebok and you don't, you got to make do with what you got. They got budgets.
You might not have the funds for it.
I was gonna say, it
costs to put air into the shoe.
It's like, they cut corners.
It's like Nike's whole business plan.
Oh, well,
basically, right?
Hey, but hopefully this gives Reebok new life with a new ownership group, and they're able to do some of the things that they wanted to do before. I know a lot of people there. Shout out to my man X. Hopefully they give you is there more room to be creative. I do like what they did with what's the guy that is the designer. I can't think of his name right now at the top of my head. The black guy. Boy.
Well, either way, cheers to Reebok, 'cause there's only one way to go.
Huh?
Cheers to Reebok, because I can't see them doing worse. They're only going to go up.
Let's hope so. But the problem is the name, because people hear Reebok and it's like, unless it's like some type of Iverson or something like that, people kind of go, because of the name. And
I think there's some hope when, like I say, you look at the brands that are up under ABG. So
no, I think
there's definitely some hope.
And so far, they're saying the right things. Right, they're saying the right things. They want to return it to prominence, and they want to tap into its history. Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether or not they follow up.
It looks like it's some hope.
Like, I want to know what Adidas said when they bought them in 2006. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody says the right things at first. We're
going to predict the future. We're going to sabotage the meeting that you're going to have with Beyonce.
That's all it was. It was basically them just fishing for details. They took everything that
Come on now. I said that on that episode. I'm like, dude, it smelled like a setup.
Yeah. And honestly, thinking about it, I think I would have preferred Beyonce with Reebok.
I think.
Nah, because Reebok ain't had the resources and the money and the back.
No, I'm thinking ideally as far as her with the brand and some of the silhouettes.
The look?
Yeah, I prefer that.
It would have benefited Reebok. It would have been in Adidas' best interest to put her on Reebok.
Yeah, because it would
bolster that along with Cardi B.
It would have
Kanye was already holding you down with the Adidas brand.
That would have breathed life into the brand that you killed.
That was just.
I'm just saying, like overall, I feel like I'm more of a fan of Reebok silhouettes than I am Adidas.
Nah, I ain't gonna say all that.
That's just me.
I'm excited to see what comes.
Outside the Iverson shoe, what shoe do you buy from Reebok? Well, Iverson's and Shaq, so the only shoes you buy from Reebok?
No, I got some.
Pumps.
No,
Yeah,
it's not
pumps.
the club shoes. Not the. What are they called? It's more like their lifestyle shoe.
Reebok Classic? Because that's
Is that what it's called?
The Cardi B's.
Whoa.
The
It's kind of like the
Club C's.
Cortezes. Like it's like
Yeah, it's the Reebok Classic.
It's
isn't
okay,
it?
the Reebok Classic. Yeah, I don't know why I keep wanting to say the Club C.
You know, at one point Reebok did a collab with DGK, and that was dope. That was probably like 2008-9. They made some shoes for like
Right.
skaters.
And there's a lot of shoes that I could picture. I can't think of the names though. But that was one of my frustrations with Reebok is, or at least whoever was making decisions, is that not allowing them to tap into some of that stuff because they were trying to play it safe with some of the more prominent silhouettes because obviously they're trying to sell. So of course, you know, if something was too unsafe, they didn't want to take the risk of, you know, producing pairs of shoes that nobody wanted.
The biggest opportunity was their apparel. They have so much dope
That's
vintage apparel.
yeah.
You could have just dropped the apparel, made new silhouettes, dropped dope apparel.
Well, that's why Beyonce, if it would have been
that's the crux
Beyonce
of
signing
her-
to them, like Ivy Park with Reebok,
That's the crux of their
would've looked
collaboration,
better.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, they dropping shoes, but the crux of their collaboration is the clothes. So
Yep.
to your point, that's why, to me, honestly, that would have been a better fit. But you know, the same way Rihanna brought life to Puma.
Yep.
You know, I think she
And
could have
now
brought
she's
life.
a billionaire.
Yeah.
So
Because you wouldn't necessarily think, oh, Puma got the silhouettes, but you know, she came out with her different silhouettes, or at least her twist on some of them, and she brought new life to that brand. And
I
think
bet you she'd buy $1 million shoe.
I hope not.
Eerily quiet. Well, no, but I am
Just want to
happy.
throw that out there to you.
I am happy that Reebok is finally away from the
Finally
clutches.
free?
Yes, of Adidas, because they wasn't doing them no favors. None. Like, only thing that Reebok had, or at least I feel like they gained from Adidas, is their supply chains and the distribution. That was the only thing they really gained from it, because they didn't have to have their own, right? Like, they got to use Adidas's. But other than that,
Man, you hot, man.
hey,
You hot right now.
I'm getting a text from
Travis Scott. Why was I number 3?
Casper.
Exactly.
But no, what
You lucky you made the list.
what was what was the biggest fall for Reebok though?
The biggest fall?
Yeah, like because I'm really trying to think back to. I mean, outside of the obvious, but I feel
Well,
like
you
it
can
would have
say
been
from
the
the
same.
jump, they took, because they were still hanging on to the basketball division. And
Right, but
Adidas
that's
came
what
and
I'm
was
saying.
Like, all right,
Like,
give us that.
it just it's like once you really look at probably what after the G Unit and the S. Carter shoes, kind of like, you know, after that phase went out, that was what, like 03, 04?
Well, that's why they got bought.
That's about 06.
That's what I was gonna say. Is
That
like
was 06.
what happened to get them to that point? You know what I mean? Because like you never really hear
To the
about
point where they got bought by
Yeah.
Adidas?
Because
I mean-
you as a company, you make yourself as appealing as possible. So when you sell yourself, you can get the most money as possible. So coming off the 50 and the G-Unit deals, they were obviously popular. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That you was
But it
what,
just-
2-3 years removed from the last dope Iverson shoe. But when his shoes started to wane off far as appeals, here come Jay-Z and 50. So at that time, they're looking at their last 5 years. The last 5 years, Iverson dipped and 50 and Jay came. They're like, oh yeah, this got potential. And that's probably how they sold themselves.
But part of that popularity, and I'm glad you brought that up, because somebody reached out to me after we had a conversation about it before, and it was like part of that popularity was the fact that they put a lot of those shoes on sale. So that had a lot to do with it. But to that point, though, I think, I mean, nothing lasts forever, right? Like Reebok in the 90s was doing pretty good, but there was obviously trending near the end of the 90s, early 2000s. There was a trend down.
Right.
Now, what that came down to, I mean, a lot of things. You got the retro Jordan line taking off, you know, so that's taking up a big portion of the market share. Because you would think, because he retired at 98, then came back in like 01, 02, but you would think him not playing some of those years would be, some brand would take advantage of that. They had a struggling basketball line because outside of Iverson, who else did they have? Because at least with Nike, right, they still had a staple there. At the time, they had Penny, they had Pippen.
Trying to think who else
they eventually got Kobe, but not that time.
But
Gary Payton, Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of like my thing is I just want to know like the decisions that were being made at the top, like. How we always get the documentaries of how companies are falling apart. Like I would love to get like that behind the scenes documentary of knowing like Reebok had been a #1 brand in the early 90s and just like literally as soon as they became #1, they basically fell and dropped all the way to #2 and #3 and then got bought by one of their competitors.
I don't feel that's more so what Reebok didn't do. It just sometimes
who's the decision makers?
It's like this, right? I'll give you a perfect example. Jay-Z gonna sell his 2-3 million, right? It's gonna be great till here come a 50 and sell 7-8 million. Here come a Kanye that sells 7 million. Here come an Eminem who sell 9 million.
Yeah.
So I think in that instance, it wasn't so much what Reebok done, just Nike hit his stride that nobody could keep up with.
No, I agree with that. I feel like it was both. I feel like what you both said kind of is true. To your point, sometimes it ain't what you did, it's what somebody else did. But at the same time, too, like they are headquartered in Boston, and I know some of the people that are the higher ups there, and I want to put some of the blame on that. But then again, you can make the same argument. Both Nike and Adidas is headquartered in Portland, and that ain't necessarily the epicenter of urban creativeness either. So I don't know what exactly, especially around that time, because I ain't going to sit here and act like I know all of what was going on back then. But, sometimes the market changes faster than you can respond to it. Last Blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we just go from rent movies to streaming overnight.
That's a good documentary.
You know what I'm saying?
You seen that?
No,
yeah,
the last Blockbuster?
Oh, man,
that is actually a very good documentary.
I'm going to check it out. But
that's all right.
That was real because I watching that because you just get to think you're like, man, like Blockbuster literally had chance after chance. Again, that's what I'm saying about Reebok. Like, what were the decisions that were made to force you to get bought by one of your competitors? Like, okay, Finland has not been bought by his competitor.
Sometimes you gotta think. You're thinking from your perspective, but you gotta think to them and the higher ups. This is all a business. This ain't no culture. This is a business.
No, and I'm not thinking what I'm thinking more so is just like who's the people that are sitting up top that are supposed to be able to have the foresight and to be kind of like in the know of, okay, I see this brand is doing this over here. Then let me do what I have to do to be able to combat that. And it just felt like Reebok never did that.
That was part of the stupidity of Blockbuster. Like, did you hear what their CEO said? Like, his most famous quote is, people love the communal aspect of going to the store and picking out their movie. Like, no, they don't. They don't want to get out of their pajamas, man.
Exactly. Why do you think they have drive-thrus or fast food restaurants?
But you know what, though? That speaks to that's just the corporate attitude sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes when you that big, you create your own echo chambers because all you see is other executives and you're not out there with the everyday people, so you don't know what they like or don't like. And a lot of times your idea of what they like or don't like comes from an analytics sheet that you get a year later, right? Like right now, this is 2021 August. The analytics are going to speak to like last August.
Right.
Because they haven't gotten the analytics for this year yet.
It's always a year behind.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's a lot of projection that you got to do. But even when you project, you still have to have some type of connection. You gotta have some type of pulse.
You gotta have some form of business savvy.
Yeah.
To be able to see it.
Yeah, but a lot of times, and when you a company that big, especially at the time when Blockbuster had the market share and whatever, you get arrogant, right? Because in your mind, you can't foresee a David coming to upset this Goliath. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, Netflix almost got taken out because they tried to do what Blockbuster did, and then they did the mail-in stuff. That worked to a degree, and then they pivoted to the whole streaming thing. But I always say this. A lot of the new ideas come from smaller companies because they got to do something different. They can't out Blockbuster, right? So they got to do something different. And that's what they did. They focused on streaming, and Blockbuster just refused to change or just was unable to change. Sounds like they just refused to change. And that got caught slipping. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I bet you they wish Dr. Strange was real now.
They had the old school thinking of, why fix it if it's not broke, but they failed to see you need to adapt to survive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though they had the perfect opportunity to be able to purchase Netflix, and they refused.
Just like Coca-Cola had the opportunity to buy Pepsi.
Well, they didn't. Thank God that didn't happen.
Well, you be the CEO of Coca-Cola, not Pepsi.
I met one of the presidents for Pepsi.
He works for you. Why you shouldn't?
Which one of you is the bigger influencer?
I'm just a sneaker influencer. He's a world influencer. Pepsi's everywhere. Pepsi's everywhere. Like, he has a corner office on the top floor.
My office has no windows. I have the worst office in the building. My office has no windows. Like, whenever it gets dark outside, I have to walk out and go look at somebody else's office and be like, oh shit, it's gonna rain out there.
What's that shit in prison where they was solitary
confinement?
You just don't work well with the other
dude employees. Like, I hate where my office is located at in the building, but that's where they put that office
by yourself. It gets lonely up there.
It's lonely at the top, huh?
Man. All right, I got two things I want to get to before we end the show, because I do want to touch on this. Store employee fatally shot at Fairfax Shoe Palace. An article written by Alexei Shabashian for Fox 11 LA. The Los Angeles Police Department have arrested a 16-year-old juvenile in connection with the fatal shooting of an employee at a shoe store in the Fairfax area. According to LAPD, a fight broke out over an argument over a shoe raffle outside a Shoe Palace store. An employee, 26-year-old Jaron Bradford, was coming into work when he saw the fight happening and tried to de-escalate it. They then began to try to jump Jaron, trying to surround him, so he backed up. And then, according to a witness, the suspect just put out a gun and shot him. The 16-year-old suspect fled the area. Cops were able to locate the 16-year-old shooter days later without incident. He was booked on murder charges. The suspect's name has not been released because he is a minor. Shoe Palace released this statement. If we can pull the statement up. Our Shoe Palace family is heartbroken over the senseless act of violence that took the life of Jaron Bradford, a loving son, brother, friend, and team member. Jaron was a light in any room he walked into. We ask at this time to respect his family and friends as they navigate through this traumatic event. As an organization, our focus remains on Jaron's family. The LAPD is asking anyone with any added information to this case to call the West Bureau Homicide investigators at 213-382-9470. As a black man, what is a black life worth, man? Like, if it don't matter to us, it can't matter to anybody else. At the end of the day, somebody died over some shoes. Some fucking shoes. Like, this has been happening for years, and it's sad that it's still happening. This is happening in the early 90s. Like, why is it still happening now? And I know we have a segment where we say This Week is Stupid, but most of those stories, people go home alive. To see this young black man lose his life. His family has lost a son or a brother or a family member over something as senseless as a raffle. First of all, why are you showing up to a shoe raffle with a gun? That's the first question you gotta ask yourself. Why are you pulling it out? Like, what? Bruh, like, you the only one there with a gun, you gonna pull out a gun? Why? So you a badass now because you the only one there with it? Everybody tough with a gun. Only take, what am I saying? Denzel Washington say it takes 5 pounds of pressure. Like, it don't take, there's no special skill set to pull a trigger. And the fact that you killed somebody over a pair of shoes, not even a pair of shoes, you killed them over a raffle. A raffle. Like, it's senseless, it's stupid, and it's sad that we even gotta have this discussion still within the sticker community about what is a life worth. And I could promise you, if for damn sure, I ain't worth a pair of shoes. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let y'all say what y'all gotta say. We've allowed ourselves to manufacture so much hype. We've allowed it, the brands have allowed it, to the point where we are not able to discern between a need and a want, to the point where situations like this happen. Like, I actually thought about, like, man, like, how much blame do I put on the brands? And I'm not saying the brands have any blame in this, because at the end of the day, you still have personal responsibility. But if I am a brand, I would feel somewhat culpable, because I am sitting here I'm creating an environment. I'm breeding an environment for these things to happen. That doesn't mean that it should happen, but I have played a role in this somehow, some way. And I will feel some type of culpability. And we need to discern between what is a need and what is a want. I know every Saturday everybody's dying to get the newest pair of shoes, you know, me included, but I'm not pulling the gun out over a pair of shoes. And I think once we realize that we want these shoes and don't need these shoes, then I think you'll see less of these situations. Until then, y'all got the floor.
As someone 10 years in the sneaker retail, there's instances where a guy got upset at the store I worked at, and he had the gun in the bag. I think you was there, and he was upset because he couldn't get a line, like something with the shoe or his placement in the shoes.
Oh, I do remember that.
Size. Yeah, he had it in the bag, and he was talking crazy.
He was talking crazy to Frank.
Yeah. So that was another instance. Right before I got with that company, we were at our training, and this one dude, he was already started working for the company, but he came because he missed it during the Bread 11 release, and it was at 2013. 2012, around there, to the bread release. Mm-hmm. The guy told him, the young kid, about like 20, 22, around there, 24. He was like, "Hey man, can y'all just get in line? You know what I'm saying? We trying to get y'all together." And the dude in front said, "I bet if I don't get my shoes, you gonna lose your life." So like, this and this sneaker community it's atrocious, and it's like that's sad that they actually came to that far as with him. And the problem is, it's not so much the sneaker, it's the sneaker, but the sneaker is equating the money because there's a resale value, right?
Yeah.
So if this shoe, it's a shoe, but I see these shoes are $1,200 because I can sell it, right? So now it's almost becoming fighting over money or an asset that you haven't even attained yet. So this is where the reselling part has gotten out of control, because now people are looking for shoes as literally a shoe. They're looking commodity. At it as a flip, a brick, the same way people shoot each other over bricks. Shane, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that is starting to become, and it doesn't have to be like that. And brands, yes, you're not involved, but once you see what people are starting to do with your product, you need to flood it. Either way, you're going to make money.
Yeah.
You made $100,000 more Travis Scott. So what? They don't sell for $5,000 on the secondary market. You still going to sell through your repair on retail. So it's almost like they're more concerned about what they're going on the resale market than they are what they're going to go for the retail. And it's just like, you're not going to get no money off of that on that resale side.
Simply put,
go ahead.
Simply put, my takeaway from this whole episode is that a human life is worth more than sneakers.
Real talk.
Yeah, no, because I was going to say, like, just before you guys going to say, we just did the story about a couple, selling shoes to be able to try it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now, someone loses a life over a shoe, and someone that wasn't even there technically for the shoe. He was there as an employee just trying to break up the scuffle.
He was trying to do the right thing.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't even put his hands on nobody. He said, "Hey, what's going on?"
That's
all he said.
Right. That's the one that got shot. And that's the unfortunate part about it. And to Guru's point, it's not even so much that the resale market, the price, brands now are concerned, like if a shoe doesn't sell out instantly, that's a bad look. If it doesn't sell out that day. Jordans used to sit on the shelf, y'all. Some of the most coveted Chicago ones,
and they still was $1 billion company.
Thank you.
Nike and it never got to where they were by putting shoes on shoe.
Go back in 94, 95 and see how the first Chicago ones, the cement 3s, white cement 3s, sat on shelves.
The playoff 11s went to clearance racks.
Thank you.
Like, everything went on sale. You go back and look at them East Bay catalogs, bread 13s, playoff 13s were on sale for $89, $99. You still became a $1 billion company.
Yes.
Because you know why? You made an adequate amount of pairs.
Yes. So, and that's the fortunate part. Like, now we've created this new standard to where if it doesn't sell out in an hour, if it doesn't sell out that day, if it doesn't sell out in 3 days, it's a failure. Okay, so if it sells out in a week or a month, it's still a success. You still sold out shit.
Your number one selling shoe doesn't even ever sell out, and it's the Monarch. Duh. So that lets you know right there, you can still become a $1 billion company without your shoe selling out.
This is the unfortunate side of perception and reality sometimes, is that perceptions like this have created this false need to, limit production, and now that has generated a level of hype now that is just unseen before. And so now, you have situations like this, and like I said, like at the end of the day, the responsibility lies on the person and their actions. However, if I'm Nike or whoever is the brand, I would feel some type of way, like, damn, like I created an environment that was conducive to something like this happening.
I mean, when the beast gets too big, it feeds itself.
It really does. but you played an active role in that beats getting big. So, you know what I'm saying?
The biggest role.
Yeah, so you got to feel some type of way.
Because, I mean, as a community, we've all screamed and yelled about, you know, they need to produce more pairs. Yeah. We've always said it.
And this is another reason something like this happening, you probably want, and not right now, but very soon, it's about to be a wrap on all of these limited shoes being in stores.
Yep.
Because we went to raffle because of the 2011, 12.
People going to, waiting in line.
Orlando.
People tearing the gates down. What was it the one store in Cleveland where they literally tore the gate down off the store and people got trampled trying to get into it?
Shoes ain't that deep, man.
Why we do raffles?
I mean, but
I've done silly shit where, like, you know, like the mall opens and we all run to the store and stuff. But that was the extent of it. I ain't fought nobody. I ain't destroyed no property. I for damn sure ain't killed nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's just not worth it. And I don't understand that mentality. I don't understand how anybody can have that mentality. Like, to Guru's point, I understand
people look at it. It's a toxic community. It's not what it used to be. We need to do better.
We do. But we used to have safeguards. Like, we self-policed.
But it was more real ones than hype beasts. Nah, it's more
hype beasts. I mean, but a situation like this, Nike is going to use this as more of a reason to say this is why we further our direct-to-consumer push. Yeah. This is exactly why. Because they'll easily point to this and say, well, like what Guru said, like all these limited releases. I mean, think about how many releases come out on the sneakers app versus what you see actually coming out into a store now anyway.
But it's just fucked up that would be their focus.
What's going to happen is, your shoes not going to, you can go direct to consumer. That's not going to stop someone from robbing somebody on their way to SneakerCon, carrying all them shoes in there, or when someone go to do a meetup for a swap or a sale. So it's just like, you can, you're going to do that. You can take out the stores to avoid it. But you're still creating a storm for something else. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
No, for sure.
Nah, it's some bullshit and, you know, whatever. I got one more segment, like real quick. I want to introduce.
Stick gonna beat your ass.
I know Stick.
Yeah. See, he ready to whoop you.
You ever seen Suicide Squad? Yeah, he got some Dalmatians to go kill.
Well, he got to go save Gotham City.
Yeah.
He ain't saving it. He's crazy.
But no,
he thinks he's saving it.
Yeah, actually, you were the one that went to the hospital and was like, "Hi, Harvey."
Why I gotta be the Joker?
You was partner in crime. That's why.
Yeah.
Wait, so I gotta be the one with the nurse fit on? Like,
hey, look, Guru. Do I look like I have a plan?
Yeah. See, people, everything.
I'm like a dog.
Chaos.
I mean,
I'm like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do if I got one.
That's how I feel about $1 billion.
So, I wanted to bring back a segment that we did way back when, as our way of trying to contribute to the sneaker community. And remember, I used to do Lady Sneakerheads of the Week. So, I want to bring back that segment. So instead of doing like 7, I wanted to kind of focus on 1 per week. And so, starting it off, it's a friend of the show and a close, near dear friend of mine. We got I Sell Sneakers Not Dreams. There she go. Well, I Google. See, I knew. So I knew as soon as I put the picture up. Guru always got to start shit.
I didn't think
it's either gonna be him or me. So.
That laugh.
Hey,
I know. I knew it.
Hey, shout out to my twin. It's a Midwest swing.
No, she cool. She cool with me because she put sugar on her grits. So
no. She doesn't think she's from the South, but she is.
Why my Cutlass Blues? That's not from the South.
She's in the South. She's from the South.
They got a South mindset,
but they're borderline
she's
South
Southern.
Midwest.
They got a South mindset. That's like once you get to when you get to. That's like when you get to like certain parts of Ohio, they swear they like in Florida or something. I'm like, bro, like Michigan is right there.
Man,
like,
Ohio's
why you got golds in your mouth like you in Alabama?
Hey, see, he's still stopping to talk to you. He was like, "Is that the CEO of Nike? Jordan?"
He probably told you to hop in his whip.
Okay. Anyway, I Sell Sneakers Not Dream. Follow her on Instagram
and put sugar on your grits.
But no, shout out to her. I wanted because not only she's very knowledgeable. She's been managing, I think, a detailer there, as well as she's the better half of what's that show called? More Than Sneakers podcast. They're trying to take up our market share, but we won't let them. But no, I asked, but I wanted to do something different because we would just shout out 7, ladies, and that would be it. But I wanted to do something more engaging. So from time to time, we might be able to get our lady sneakerheads on the show. She wasn't able to get on the show, but I asked her just a few questions, just to kind of.
You know what it reminds me of?
What? What? Here we go.
What's
Guru, I told y'all, Guru got something to say about everything.
JoJo and Mary J. Blige, you know, people in the same field, you know, being around each other, start, you know, you know what I'm saying? If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. You know, that was a great song.
That was a great song.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. I want to hear what my twin has to say about the questions you asked.
You finished?
Absolutely, man.
You finished as you done.
I'm great.
It's like you basically just ran out in front of Woodward.
Well, but I asked her though, like, you know, what's the sneaker that got you hooked in sneaker culture? She said, you know, people that know me know that, you know, she's a Band 1 girl, which, you know, makes sense. But she said the shoe that actually piqued her interest was Larry Johnson's Converse. I forgot how to pronounce that. Aero Jams.
Oh, the Aero Jams. That's a man.
And she said the reason why.
That's a good one.
She actually gave a reason why. She said why is because of the theatrics that came behind it. The commercial Grandmama, which is one of the great, you know, caricatures, sneaker history. Grandmama being able to beat NBA players in those shoes. Even as a kid, I could recognize great marketing, and it was the only thing that was fucking with Mike at the time. I gotta agree. Like,
early 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a year with that, so he was.
I mean, I like the Charles Barkley.
It stood out.
You know, the Charles Barkley stuff too.
Yeah. If you could do a collab with any brand or any shoe, what would it be? She said it used to be Jordan Brand or Nike, but to me they ran retro ones that dunks into the ground. So she said she would rather.
Sound like y'all got something in common.
She said she would either further her design reach with
that Chicago stuff
with her kids who likes LeBrons, or help Kyrie out because, well, we've seen the last one. Shots,
man.
So I asked her what theme or story would you tell through that collaboration, and she said she would tell a true story about the sneaker community or her sneaker community. She said they're still waking up to news stories of lives being taken over sneakers. We just told one. People getting robbed for sneakers, etc. All the negative things that could surround the industry or community. And she said that's why she didn't like that Sneakerhead show on Netflix. She said at first it started out with dude almost going into bankruptcy over sneakers.
Don't get me started about
that. Was the premise of the show. Like, and a lot of people didn't like that show. The show was stupid. It was a money grab. But it's complex. So, I mean, what you expect? They basically put black faces on a white story.
Yeah, don't get me started with that show.
Yeah. Anyway, I would tell the story of judges, lawyers, accountants, principals, engineers, entrepreneurs, community leaders who are all sneakerheads. It's a very positive side to our community. To what Guru said earlier, like this, we do more than just buy sneakers. We got real lives and priorities. What's the biggest issue facing women in the sneaker community? She says the same issue is the girl who walks on a basketball court that has to watch every dude get their respect and not get the same respect for her game. I agree with that as well. And then last question, what would you like to see going forward from the sneaker industry? And she said that she would like to see a lot of things going forward that would benefit both companies and consumers. I like this answer too. She says she has carefully calculated out the answers, and if any brand would like to know, they can hit her up because those golden answers aren't free. So, yeah.
There you go. Charge for that.
If you want to reach out to her, once again, you can find her on Instagram at I Sell Sneakers Not Dreams. I think the name speaks for itself. But no, shout out to her. So every week we want to try to do this. So instead of having 7, we can kind of just focus on one and give them.
You got more fans?
No, that was waving.
Oh, word.
You hear some.
Y'all got jokes. Anyway, shout out to Tay.
Hey man, babe, you brought this episode full circle. You know,
I did.
My twin on there, your Chicago fit makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta go back. We gotta go to Chicago though. I want to go back to Chicago. She wants to go on a road trip with us, so we gotta make that happen.
Shit, I'm still trying to go on one.
I know, we got. Like,
I've been on the show about 3 years now. Damn, COVID just came and just wiped everything away.
I know. Woodward Sports. I got to send it somewhere.
Can we take the truck, the Jeep?
Oh, bet it up. Road trip. They're gonna send us to Hamtramck. All right. Anyway, this is episode 306.
I forgot. I lost count.
We in the threes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just We gotta keep track though, so we going
we
against
past 300. That's all I know.
All I know, right? Anyway, we are we trying to beat OSD live, so I guess we got to get it together. But anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in, listening. We'll see you guys next Sunday. We are out.
Peace.